Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Bulldog Sports Network. Quickly, final game stats, not first half stats, as I usually say. Final game stats for the women's game by Mason Elam. Take it away, Mason.
Again, not a lot of scoring as we aforementioned, John. But for Reinhardt, we had Taylor Johnson with 12 leading their team. And with 9 points, we had Peyton Smith and Lisa Mitchell. Behind them, you had Erica Woodfin with 7. Brooke Thomas with 6. Carmen Lockhart with 3. And Ashley Beasley with 2. They had 18 turnovers, which bested Union, who had 19, and 38 total rebounds. And throughout the game, John, they shot 29% from the field, 8 for 27 in the second half. From 3, they shot 36%, and from the free throw line, they shot 69%. For Union, your leading scorer was Haley Perkins with 15. Behind her, you had Amber Taylor with 11, Macy Klontz with 10. And then Lydia Nash had 6. 4 points were scored by Mara Rice. And with 3 points, you had Jennifer Thomas and Allison Roberts. And with 2 points, Adrena Jefferson had 2. Like I said, Union with 19 turnovers, and they had 36 total rebounds, which is a good number, which was a key to the game. From the field, they shot 34%. From 3, they shot 40%. And for the game, they shot 68% from the free throw line. And those are your stats for the game, John.
So final game stats, Union wins 54-48 in an ugly game over Reinhardt. As next time we'll have action for you. Stay tuned to UCBulldogs.com for all of that. But we're going to get out of here on the women's side. Stay tuned for the men's game, and it's going to be a battle of the 2 top teams in the conference for conference supremacy, at least this far into the season. Thank you to all my cast and crew, Ellie Weaver, my producer, Jessica Frisbee on camera, John Gatto, my SID, keeping all the stats updated for us, Mason Elam, my color commentator. I've been the voice of the Bulldogs, John North. If you aren't staying with us, then I'll catch you down the line. If not, stay with us. We'll be back. We're going to regroup. We'll be back with the men's game, Union versus Reinhardt.
I'm at the top of my class.
I am pursuing a double major.
I am a student athlete.
I am pursuing a postgraduate degree.
I am a helping hand.
I am from England.
I am an aspiring artist.
I am a future doctor.
I'm a soldier.
I am inspired.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu.
I'm the first college graduate in my family.
I am a fan of classic literature.
I am a fine arts major.
I am strong in my faith.
I am a fitness fanatic.
I am a champion.
I am working my way through college.
I am ambitious.
I am a Southern Belle.
I am a single parent in college.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu.
I'm the first college graduate in my family.
I am a fan of classic literature.
I am a fine arts major.
I am strong in my faith.
I am a fitness fanatic.
I am a champion.
I am working my way through college.
I am ambitious.
I am a Southern Belle.
I am a single parent in college.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu.
I'm the first college graduate in my family.
I'm at the top of my class.
I am pursuing a double major.
I am a student athlete.
I am pursuing a postgraduate degree.
I am a helping hand.
I am from England.
I am an aspiring artist.
I am a future doctor.
I'm a soldier.
I am inspired.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu.
I am a fan of classic literature.
I am a fine arts major.
I am strong in my faith.
I am a fitness fanatic.
I am a champion.
I am working my way through college.
I am ambitious.
I am a Southern Belle.
I am a single parent in college.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu.
Whether it's new or used parts you need, car parts, truck parts, SUV parts, foreign and domestic parts, any part from A to Z, Davis Salvage and Auto Parts on the Cumberland Falls Highway in Corbin has it or can find it. Davis Salvage specializes in late model auto and truck parts. For over 40 years, the Davis family has supplied customers all over the United States with new and used auto and truck parts. Davis Salvage open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 p.m. or online at davissalvage.com. Take a look at their inventory. Davis Salvage and Truck Parts on the Cumberland Falls Highway in Corbin, the only place to go for all your vehicle needs. Whether it's new or used parts you need.
Splash at the new Stivers Aquatic and Wellness Center in Barberville, home of the area's only indoor Olympic-sized swimming pool. Guests will enjoy 2 hours of fun in both the pool and party room. Parties are now being scheduled for any day of the week. Book yours today. Call 546-0005 or visit us on the web at stiverscenter.org. Stivers Aquatic and Wellness Center. It's good for you. Pool parties are making a huge splash at the new Stivers Aquatic and Wellness Center in Barberville, home of the area's only indoor Olympic-sized swimming pool. Guests will enjoy 2 hours of fun in both the pool and party room. Parties are now being scheduled for any day of the week. Book yours today. Call 546-0005 or visit us on the web at stiverscenter.org. Stivers Aquatic and Wellness Center. It's good for you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Robeson Arena on the campus of beautiful Union College. There's not much you can say about this one, as it's going to be the Union College men taking on the men from Waleska, Georgia, the Reinhardt University Eagles, as this one should be a great one. Both these teams 7-1 in conference. Only one loss in the conference from either of these teams. The winner, they'll go to the top of the pack, where they will lead the driver's seat for the rest of the year and control their own destiny. You lose, you got to have some help from the bottom to see if you can make up for this loss. Coach Burton said yesterday that either of these teams are going to look back on this game and realize either that was it, that made us, or broke us. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens here tonight. About 9 minutes, 40 seconds till tip-off. Hello, everyone. I am the voice of the Bulldogs, John North, alongside my broadcast partner, Mason Elam. And, Mason, we saw a slow, sloppy game on the girls' end, a lot of turnovers. I don't think we're going to see that in this game.
I don't either, John. And being down there when I was picking up the stats from the girls' game, both of these teams look really focused and really want this game. Both of them going as hard as they can in warm-ups right now, and you're seeing it from both teams as they're warming up right now.
Absolutely. We'll talk to Coach Tanner a little bit later, but as he said, it's not a nerves thing for this team. They know what's at stake. They know what happens here tonight in this gymnasium could cause a lot of ruckus in the AAC and open some eyes, because Union already rattled off 7-1, one of the best starts in a couple of years for the Bulldogs. And now Reinhardt, always well coached, always primed to knock off the top team in the conference. So it's going to be a good one right here from Barberville. We're going to have all the action for you. As we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll break down these two teams a little more on paper, and then we'll do our tell of the tape, and then Coach Massey is going to be on for a pregame interview. You're listening to the Bulldog Sports Network.
I'm at the top of my class.
I am pursuing a double major.
I am a student athlete.
I am pursuing a postgraduate degree.
I am a helping hand.
I am from England.
I am an aspiring artist.
I am a future doctor.
I'm a soldier.
I am inspired.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Bulldog Sports Network, as it is a blackout here in Robeson Arena, as we're about 7 minutes and 55 seconds away from tip-off. Coach Burton sporting the all-black as he makes his way into the locker room right below us. Team didn't get the memo, though, as you said earlier, as a little miscommunication as the team didn't get to come out in black. Nonetheless, the student section in full force. They're all the way back, not only in the lower bowl, but the student sections are all the way back up here in the upper arena. So that's always good to have. You got that support, so hopefully they'll be loud and proud for this one as the two top team in the conference are going to hook it up. As Union is receiving votes in that latest NAIA Division II coaches poll. They extended their win streak to 4 games on Monday night after they beat Crown 106-55. As DeAntray Stevens led 5 Bulldog double-digit scores in the win with 17 points. He has been a handful to guard since coming back, and we saw that against Crown. Hopefully we see that against Reinhardt, at least if you're a Bulldog. Deontay Johnson continues to lead the team in several categories. He leads them in points per game, field goal percentage, and rebounds per game. And Sherrick Smith is averaging 13.1 points a game, and Fitzgerald White averaging 12 points a contest as well. Reinhardt comes in the night's game, 10-7 overall record, 7-1 in the AAC. The Eagles extended their own winning streak to 3 this past Sunday as they knocked off Truett McConnell at home. As guard Quentin Wood, you're going to hear a lot about him tonight. He led the way, scoring a game-high 26 points as the Eagles won their 7th straight AAC game. So it's going to be very good here this evening as we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to hear from Coach Massey. Then we'll be back after that with starting lineups. You're listening to the Bulldog Sports Network.
Car parts, truck parts, SUV parts, foreign and domestic parts, any part from A to Z. Davis Salvage and Auto Parts on the Cumberland Falls Highway in Corbin has it or can find it. Davis Salvage specializes in late model auto and truck parts. For over 40 years, the Davis family has supplied customers all over the United States with new and used auto and truck parts. Davis Salvage open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 p.m. or online at davissalvage.com. Take a look at their inventory. Davis Salvage and Truck Parts on the Cumberland Falls Highway in Corbin, the only place to go for all your vehicle needs. Whether it's new or used parts you need, car parts, truck parts, SUV parts, foreign and domestic parts, any part from A to Z. Davis Salvage and Auto Parts on the Cumberland Falls Highway in Corbin has it or can find it. Davis Salvage specializes in late model auto and truck parts. For over 40 years, the Davis family has supplied customers all over the United States with new and used auto and truck parts. Davis Salvage open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 p.m. or online at davissalvage.com. Take a look at their inventory. Davis Salvage and Truck Parts on the Cumberland Falls Highway in Corbin, the only place to go for all your vehicle needs.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Bulldog Sports Network, as I'm now joined by assistant coach, Coach Tanner Massey. Coach Burton asked me today, he came in the office, he said, when are we doing the pregame interview? And I said, well, I'm superstitious, Coach, and ever since Coach Tanner has been doing the interview with me, we've been winning. So we got to keep doing it, right?
Hey, we have to. Let's again, just like last time, let's keep this train going.
He did say, well, we were winning before when I was doing the interviews. I said, well, good point, but I guess I just think in the present time instead of in the past. So anyway, Coach, coming off a big win against Crown on Monday, it was a quick turnaround from Bryan on Saturday, but no rust from the Bulldogs or no fatigue-wise for the Bulldogs, nothing like that.
None at all. You know, our guys just came out ready to play, executed. We pushed the ball very hard, got some easy baskets early. Could have done a better job of doing some little things on defense, closing out and communicating and grabbing some rebounds. I thought there were a lot of loose balls out there, but you know, in the grand scheme of things, I thought we played very well, and we didn't let the Bryan game affect us too much, and just came out and did what we were supposed to do.
Yeah, I talked to Coach Burton about that in the pregame. It was your guys. You know, it wasn't the score is obviously a blowout. You guys blew Crown out, but I thought Crown did some good things, and I thought your guys adapted very well. There were several times in the zone defense you guys run in the half court. Crown broke that a couple of times, so I think you guys did very well.
Yeah, and Coach and I made a note of that at halftime. Our first half zone defense could have been better. Another thing we do in the half court defensively, could have done a lot better in multiple looks that we give.
Yeah.
But again, you know, we're not complaining too much, and we didn't have time to look at that game and complain too much because we got a great team. We're coming out here and playing tonight.
Absolutely. So tonight, a big game tonight. I said before we went on air, probably I know in coach speak, every game is a big game. Probably one of your biggest games as an assistant coach here tonight. What's your feelings going in from a coaching standpoint? What's your feelings?
Coaching standpoint, for as a coach, you want to have your players ready to play, yet not nervous either. You want them to be prepared, but not to overwhelm them with too much information. And I thought Coach Burton has done a great job of getting our guys prepared, but more prepared for the little things, such as guarding the ball and being ready to close out shooters and rebounding the basketball. It's going to be huge for us tonight. But I think our players are very loose. I think that the magnitude of the game isn't going to reflect in how we play. I think our guys just going to come out here and perform as we have been. Our guys have given me, as an assistant coach, no reason to believe that they won't come out here and play hard and play well, because we've done that.
So, from the players, speaking about the players, so you don't think nerves is a problem for them tonight? Don't think the big stage, think they're ready for the big stage or not? Because I said there's a lot of basketball left to play, but the winner of this game goes in the driver's seat of the AAC. And from a broadcaster standpoint, as long as I've been doing this and helping out in the previous administration, probably the biggest regular season game we've had here in some time. Very, very huge. It's going to be a lot of fun. We expect to have quite a majority of fans here filling up the seats. It's going to be should be rocking. And both teams being 7-1 in the league, winner becomes first place. The game and the magnitude is going to be reflected in both teams. Coach said earlier in practice today, there's not going to be a single bad player on the floor tonight. Yep. All 10 guys who are going to be on the floor at the same time are going to be very, very good. And our guys we can't come out here and take anything for granted, because we know that Reinhardt's going to they have very talented players. So keys to the night's game. As always for us, it's running the floor, communicating on defense, and rebounding. However, rebounding today is, as coach puts it, the main thing of the main thing. Rebounding today is going to be huge, because this team, they percentage-wise, a ton of their shots come from beyond the three-point arc. Not a lot of shots come from within that, and we got to be ready to get the long rebounds. One point in coach that all coaches know is long shot, long rebound. Yep. So you can expect to see a lot of shots when they're missed to be tipped out, to be rebounded at least 10 feet away from the basket. So we got to be prepared, guards, bigs, to box out, make contact, and all 5 guys get to defensive glass. And as always, going to look to rebound the basketball and talk and guard the ball. We got to do a great job of closing out on shooters too, because they shoot a ton of threes. Coach, thank you very much. Good luck tonight. Yes, sir. We'll be right back with starting lineups. You're listening to the Bulldog Sports Network. All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Bulldog Sports Network, as we are just about underway. National Anthem was sung in the first game today. So now we're going to get to our starting lineups. First for the visiting Reinhardt Eagles, number 2, Quentin Wood, a 6-foot senior out of Rome, Georgia. Number 4, Tarek Roach, 6-foot junior out of Brooklyn, New York. Number 10, Tanner Reno, 6'3", senior out of Varnell, Georgia. Number 44, Matt Porter, 6'7", 190, junior out of Marietta, Georgia. Number 55, Luke Joseph, 6'8", 190, a senior out of Fort Myers, Florida. Now for your Union College Bulldogs getting the start is Fitzgerald Watt, 6'7", junior out of Miami, Florida. Number 14, Michael Buter, 6'1", freshman out of Newport, Kentucky. Number 31, DeAntray Stevens, a sophomore, 6'5", 10, out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Number 54, Deontay Johnson, the 6'8", junior out of Cincinnati, Ohio. And number 33, Gerard Newby, the freshman, 6'6", out of Lexington, Kentucky. Union coached by Kevin Burton. And Reinhardt University coached by Jason Gillespie, as we should have a good one here. A great atmosphere, one of the best atmospheres that we've had all season. Quickly, keys to the game for you, Mr. Elam.
Keys to the game, as we've heard, long rebounds. There's going to be a lot of long rebounds because Reinhardt likes to shoot the 3. So long rebounds are going to be key. Close out on shooters because, like I just said, they like to shoot a lot. Make them dribble, because when you close out on them, you're going to want them to dribble around you. And talk on D. It was a key last game, and you still want to carry that over and communicate in this game too. Those are your keys to the game for tonight's game, and hopefully it will bring out a victory for the Bulldogs against Reinhardt.
So getting things set, Union in their white trimmed in black orange letters, black numbers trimmed in orange. Reinhardt in there, I guess navy blue, you would call that, yellow trimming with yellow numerals and letters.
Yeah, John, this is a great atmosphere. We have music played while we announce the starters. All the students were getting into the pregame. We got students up here behind us. It's, other than the double overtime game, I think this is the best atmosphere we've had at the start of a game.
And this is for, it seems like I'm putting a lot on this game, but honestly, from a broadcast perspective, this is for all the marbles in the AAC as you stay in the driver's seat. The very important game is Newbie and Porter going to step in the center circle to tip this one off.
John,
we're going left to right.
This
is. Union wins the tip. Now you go ahead.
I'm trying to talk him in the middle of you. It's not working. But this is an important game for both teams, really. In terms of seeding for the AAC tournament and even to bid for the Nationals. This could tell for both teams whether they're going to Nationals or not.
Johnson tries to put it up and in, and Wood off to the races the other way. Kicks it out to Roach. Roach puts it on the deck. Now out front to Porter. Takes the three and good. And you see why Reinhardt is so dangerous. As everybody they put on the floor can take and make the three. The starters, 32% from three. They shoot it at 32% from three, 32%, 37%. So each of those starters out there can take and make the three. You've got to close out as they go into Johnson early. Johnson guarded by Joseph. Off the glass. No good. Rebounded by Porter. Outlet to Wood. Wood working over the timeline over on the left side as he going to put up a long three on Watt. No good. Back iron is tipped around. Rebounded by the smallest guy on the floor, Buter.
And, John, may I mention that Porter is 6'7", not someone you would think was going to pull up from beyond the arc and shoot a three. As Stevens answers from deep and shows that if you can take a three from out there, I'm going to take it and make it.
And it's on as Stevens comes down and looks over to the student section and said, let's go, as it's 3 up. As Porter steps out, guarded by Newby, throws it out front to Wood.
John, he took that from his hometown in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Porter looking for another three, guarded by Newby as they go into Joseph. As Joseph tries to spin, it's going to be a touch foul on Johnson. And the fans are going to give the referee all kinds of trouble on that one.
Again, John, that's that hand on the hip, that arm bar foul that we've seen and we've said that the refs are looking for this year. And the thing is, you can't get away with it as much because they're looking for it. As Johnson's going to come out and go right back into the scorer's table for Archie Adams.
Yeah, Roach going to inbound to Porter. Porter with another silky smooth jumper. He's got all 5 for Reinhardt thus far. Stevens brings it over the timeline, guarded by Roach. Union's going to spread the floor.
Stevens giving Roach a little bit of a high five there, saying, I see you that you're there.
Adams over to Stevens. Another long three from the left wing. No good for an arm, but rebounded by Adams. Adams in the middle of the floor, back out to Stevens. Stevens bounce pass over to Buter. Buter pump fake. 15-footer up and good. No good for Buter. Back iron. Rebounded strong by Porter. Now Wood off to the races. Going down the right side. Nice crossover on Buter. Behind the back goes up off the glass. No good. Rebounded by Adams temporarily. And now taken away by Watt.
John, that has been Mike Buter's bread and butter all year. And he told me after the last game that he hasn't found a shot and he's trying to find it.
Watt, three straight away, no good. Another offensive rebound by Adams. Adams is battling as he goes up and fouled. 2 huge offensive rebounds for Archie Adams.
John, I think the tone of this game has been set real early. Both teams running up and down the floor fast and being very physical with it, too.
Absolutely is. Adams going to the line for 2 after that strong offensive rebound.
This game much different than the first game we watched, John. As the pace is quick and a lot of scoring already. First, not even 3 minutes.
As a couple of fresh white jerseys coming in there for Union. As Maurice Turner is going to come in. Tremaine Elias is going to come in along with Maurice Turner and Tashawn Hairston.
Again, something we mentioned in the last game that Coach Burton likes to sub and sub often.
As Harrison almost picked that one off as Union's pressure getting to Reinhardt right now. Roach brings it over the timeline. Goes up, kicks it out to Porter. Porter swings it over to Reno. Reno is a dead-eye shooter as the music just starts playing out of nowhere.
Hey.
An NBA game, I guess, is Wood between the legs at the top of the key. Looks for the screen from Porter. Goes down the middle, tries to wrap around to Swint, who has just checked in, but it's out of bounds. Turnover by the Eagles.
And, John, that was very good defense, might I add, from the Bulldogs, as they were that close to getting that 10-second call. as Reinhardt had trouble getting the ball even anywhere close to half court.
As Stevens, 5-5 is your score. 7:06 to play in the first half. Stevens off to Smith, who's just checked in. Stevens going to turn it over as Wood comes up with it off the deflection. Wood brings it over the timeline, passes it off to Roach on the right side as he calls out the play, making it back to the middle of the floor. Throws it off to Swint. As Swint
offensive foul.
is going to push off of Stevens as he's coming off that screen. Turnover on the Eagles.
John, something I'm just noticing looking down at this roster, Reinhardt, a more experienced team than what Union is on the floor at certain points in the game. We'll see how that plays out for them. That could help them out.
I'm a guy who likes talent over experience any day, but the problem is this Reinhardt team, they have experience and they have talent. As there's an illegal screen for Johnson, as Johnson's going to come out early with 2 fouls. So there goes that idea of feeding the post here in the first half. Johnson's going to take a seat. It's a big blow to Union's offense as they like to go into Johnson. Now look for this Reinhardt team to attack.
And with
Union
Johnson
showing a little zone. Go ahead.
Yes, and with Johnson going out that early, that could be a good telling for Gerard Newby, as we'll see with him getting more playing time, what he's actually made of, John.
Wood taking a long 2, smooth with the jumper. Had to pump fake off the three-point line. He put it on the deck one time, up and in. Wood, one of the most prolific scorers here in the AAC, averaging 21 a game. AAC Player of the Week this week was also the AAC all-second team as Tarek Smith with a long 3, no good, but Stevens is there. Baseline jumper off the board, good, with the fadeaway as he just stares down the crowd as he goes the other way. Stevens feeling it early. Wood, crossover dribble on White, kicks it out to Reno. Reno with a wide-handed dribble, puts it on the deck, goes up off the block, no good, as Porter's there, bounces around for the rebound, and finally Swint comes up with it. Now out to Wood with a long 3, no good. Back iron, rebounded by Smith, who skies above everybody to get it. Now Stevens off on the run. Off to Tarek Smith, working down the left side. He attacks the lane, goes up. Good for Smith. Mega and one, but no call by the officials. Union has the lead, 9-7.
John, Stevens is one of those players that, as we've seen already with him looking at the student section, asking for something out of him, that he plays with his emotions on his sleeve.
As Swint with a shot off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Adams. Good defense by Tarek Smith. Union leads at 9-7. This has been a battle early. As Stevens brings it over the timeline, guarded by Roach. Off to Smith. Smith with a backdoor lob to White. White goes up off the right block, no good. Rebounded by Porter. He looks for a guard to throw it to, finds Wood. Wood bring it across the timeline, guarded by Smith. Gets a screen at the top of the key. It's by Swint, and he goes wide open down the lane, up off the glass for 2. It's good.
No hard defense.
Yeah, none.
Trying to slow down Reinhardt, it looks like Coach Burton's trying to slow him down and kind of run an offense just to get easy points.
Stevens gets a give and go from Tarek Smith up off the glass. No good, but a follow dunk by Fitzgerald White. Good job by Fitzgerald White. Nobody checked him off, so he just went up and dunked it.
Like we mentioned last game, John, he's one of those players that can do it inside and out. There he's showing his inside game.
Roach throws it off to Reno. Reno throwing those elbows. Better be careful with that as they go inside to Swint. Swint working off the left block, has his ball patted around and taken off the other way by Smith. Smith off to Stevens. Long 3, but it's going to be a foul before Stevens hits that 3, but he hit it.
John, I think Archie Adams could have gotten away with a foul down here as he came in from the backside and blocked his shot. Kind of looked like he got him with the body first.
Went off the left block, did Swin. Goes up off the glass, no good for 2. As you're right, probably could have got a foul, but Union leading 11-9. Turner guarded by Roach. Turner been very good backup point guard wise too. Off to Smith. Smith, one dribble, one-handed shovel pass over to Turner. Turner back to the top of key for Elias. Elias picks up his dribble. Now a corner for Smith. Smith pump fake on Cooper, and now goes inside to Adams. Now back out front to Turner as Union going to run some offense.
Looks like it's a red out for Maurice Turner today with the red shoes and red socks.
Doobie over to Smith. 3 on the way. Good for Tarek Smith, and I will say this. Tarek was absolutely feeling it in warm-ups of the girls' game earlier, and I noticed that. I didn't want to say anything about it and jinx the kid, but that time, pure as anything, Tarek Smith nails the 3. Smith has struggled from 3 this year, usually a very prolific three-point shooter. this year, he's only shooting at 32%.
So, and I know this is something that I'm not sure if you guys have said on air, but Brad and I have talked off air when Brad was still here that Tarek Smith is one of those streaky shooters. So if he's on, he's on.
Yeah.
If not, maybe he needs to look for a different part of his game. But if he's on tonight, he could be a dangerous scorer.
14-9 is your score. 13-17 remaining. They go into Swint. Swint dishes it out to Cooper. Cooper takes a 15-foot jumper. No good. A strong rebound there by Turner. I think it was Porter trying to Cooper trying to chase it on Turner there and knock Turner down. So Union's going to take over. 14th foul on Reinhardt.
Back to Tarek Smith. I know he's put up, I don't remember specific numbers. I don't know specific numbers here, but I remember in the double overtime game he put, 30 plus? He put up some big numbers in the first half of the season, so we'll see if he's capable of doing it here tonight.
Earlier in the year, this team had to have Tarek Smith to play well. Now this team has to have Tarek Smith to play well everywhere. So they have to have him rebound. They have to have him score. They have to have him dish out assists. They have to have him play defense. Earlier in the year, they just had to depend on him scoring. Not anymore.
And I think Tarek knows that he's capable of, as you've seen already, come down the floor fast and find Stevens wide open for the three, but it got called back on as he got fouled.
Swint comes out. Thomas comes in for Reinhardt. This is going to be a legal screen for Johnson. That's going to be his third foul. Johnson gets called for that so much. As that's going to be Johnson. That's probably going to do it for Johnson until what? I mean, maybe this much left in the second half, as I don't see Coach Burton really going back to Johnson, even though he can go pretty deep in his bench. Union showing that little 3-2 zone, little diamond zone that they like to show. Slow Reinhardt up a little. They go inside to Joseph as Joseph goes off the block, but he's fouled.
I noticed pregame too, John, in their shoot-around as we were in here setting up for this game, well, the game before, but Coach Burton telling them that he wanted to run 3 different defenses in one possession, come down on a press with one, come down for after the press into another, and then after that, switch into another one mid-possession if they have the ball long enough.
Joseph goes to the first one is up and good. Joseph shoots at a 46% clip. Got a pretty good stroke for the big man. That's his 6'8 senior out of Fort Myers, Florida. Next one on the way. No good. That was ugly. As Smith comes down with the rebound and then calls out the play as Stevens brings it over the timeline. Stevens between the leg dribble, guarded by Wood. Gets a screen from Adams. Long three on the way for Stevens. No good. Rims out, but Adams is there for another offensive rebound. That's 3 offensive rebounds for Archie Adams to keep it alive for the Bulldogs.
And something you mentioned last game, John, even when Stevens misses, it's either long, short, or it rims out. There is no missing left or right for this kid.
And that is a sign of a good shooter always, as there's Elias goes down the lane for a lob. A nice little right hand fake with his left, up in the middle with his right hand. Nice move by Elias. 6-point lead for Union. 16-10, 12:29 to play in the first half.
And something I'm noticing from Coach Burton is he's mixing up the rotations a little bit. He's putting different players on the floor with different players than they were with in the Crown game. I mean, obviously the Crown game, not much of a game in terms of closeness, but he could play around with those rotations a little bit.
Thomas has to put it on the deck. He misses. White the other way, up and in for 2. Union showing a little, flexing their muscle a little bit in transition, something we've been wanting them to do all year, 18-10. They can be so dangerous in transition.
If you remember, John, that was a key to the game in the Crown game. It was running in transition and getting down the floor quick.
As Stevens puts it on the deck in the middle, about a 10-foot jumper up. No good, but he's fouled. Going to go to the line for 2. Union with 5 team fouls, so now Reinhardt with 6.
And if Coach Gillespie isn't careful over there, he's working his way towards a technical, because I know that's the second time the referee closest to us has said something to him. So if he's not careful, he could end up with an early technical and giving Union a lot of momentum.
No, you're new to the AAC, Mason. That is a staple of Coach Gillespie. He definitely likes to work those officials. Doesn't matter if he's home or on the road. Doesn't matter if it's a 1-foul differential like it is right now. Stevens sinks the first one. Stevens shooting up to this point 4 for 4 from the charity stripe. Make it 5 for 5. Or make it 6 for 6 because he hit 2. As Turner comes in, giving Stevens a break. I would be interested to see if Stevens were the only point guard on this team and got a lot of minutes, how many he could put up.
I'd hate to know, John. That's because
he's only averaging 21 minutes a contest.
I mean, it seems like every time down the floor he's putting up a shot, which I'm not saying is a bad thing, but
no, not when he's shooting. It's never a bad thing.
But I mean, at some point, someone else has to score too. You'd think.
Speaking of scoring, Thomas gets a nice little floater on the baseline, puts it up and in as Reinhardt cuts the lead. 20-12 is your score. Turner puts it on the deck, almost had it taken away by Wood. Now he goes out to Newby. May got away with a walk as Newby picks up his dribble, then gets it back out to Turner. Union not afraid. If they don't get the bucket in transition, they want to run some clock here. Make Reinhardt think about it. Out to Elias. Right-handed dribble at the top of the key over to the right hand for Archie Adams. Archie tries to force a pass into Turner, but it's off the hands of Turner last as Reno comes in. Thomas subs out. Bulldogs going to keep the same look.
John, that could be a pass Archie Adams could complete in practice with no defenders, but that's not going to be a pass he can complete with a defender that close to Maurice Williams.
My high school coach always told me, when you see it, it's too late.
Exactly.
When you see it, it's too late to throw the pass, and that's exactly what happened there. Wood, guarded by Elias over on the right wing, goes baseline, and Elias is going to get called for the foul as Elias had his feet moving on Wood. 16 fouls for both teams as Watt slow to come off the bench, but he does, checking in for Elias, who picks up his second foul. So Union in a bit of foul trouble here. Deontay Johnson with 3, and Elias now with 2 as they lob it in to Porter. Porter looked like he wanted to jam that one. Instead, just tips it in.
Kind of got hit on the arm there, John.
Yeah.
I don't know who it was, but could have gotten called for a foul.
Wide open on the three-point line. No good, but what offensive board by Newby. Watt now going to attack the right block, goes up and in for 2, no good, but Archie Adams once again there for offensive rebound, and now Newby comes back with it. Out to Turner, long 3, straight away, no good, rebounded again by Archie Adams. Archie has 4 or 5 offensive rebounds to this point.
It seems like they're just losing Archie Adams on the box out because, I mean, he's corralled, 4 or 5 offensive rebounds? He's got 5 offensive rebounds, or rebounds in general. I think it's all offensive.
I think so, too. I think you're right about that. As Turner now, that's a fresh possession. For the Bulldogs, we're under 10 minutes to play. 20-14 is your score. 9:44 remaining. Smith, straightaway 3, no good. Back iron, rebounded by Reno, but Newby's going to go over the back. Stevens comes off the bench to replace Turner. As Reno is going to walk the full length of the floor, as now Reinhardt is in the bonus. Reno shoots it at 72% from the charity stripe. 32% from 3. First one up and good for Reno. His first point of the day.
John, while Union ahead 20-15 here, they're only shooting 7 for 20 from the field, which is 35%. Not a typical Union shooting percentage.
Stevens brings it over the timeline. Handoff to Watt. Back up top to Stevens. Straight away. Gets a screen from Adams. Crossover dribble. 3 on the way. Good for Stevens. You have got to be kidding me as he's got the hot hand. Give him 10. 23-16 is your score.
John, he never ceases to fail. Like, he just does stuff every game that surprises you.
And I know my jaw should not drop at some of the shots that he takes and makes, but still, it's amazing to see on this level. I've not seen another player like that. As that ball's tipped around, Joseph gets it in the paint, goes off the glass and good as Newby is late to recover.
You've obviously seen him more than I have, as I wasn't here for a month for it, but my jaw still drops at some of the shots he takes. Like, he came off of a dribble there, just kind of faded into a shot.
He can hit it from anywhere. Now he's going to step out again, pump fake. He causes Wood to lose his grip, and now White for 3. No good. Back iron. Tipped around, rebounded by Reed.
And that's another thing that makes him so good. When he can beat you off the dribble, too, and when he gets to the lane, they all collapse on him, and someone's got to be open.
And I thought that was a good job by Stevens, too, even though White missed the shot. He had a shot if he wanted it, the way he shoots, because his range is anywhere over midcourt. He had a shot if he wanted it. Pump fake, drive the lane, kick it to the open player. That's a sign of a good point guard.
Absolutely. Always thinking about the other players on the team, not just himself.
Wood to the line.
And I hate to make the comparison, but that's something I've heard LeBron James say, as he's not a scoring player as he sees himself. He always sees himself as a pass-first player.
Are you comparing DeAntray Stevens to LeBron
I am not
James?
at all comparing him to LeBron James. All I'm saying is he sees himself as a pass-first player.
Woods out front. I'm surprised he didn't shoot that as he's double-teamed as he gets it in as Stevens calls him off. Reno out front, looking to Reed in the corner. Instead goes back out front to Wood. There's the shot from Wood I expected 2 possessions ago. Misses it. Porter Tips it out of bounds. Union's going to take it away.
And John, we talked about Reinhardt earlier in the game, pregame, taking a lot of threes. They have only taken 4 3-point shots, as Union has taken 11.
As Sean Harrison swings it over to White on the left wing. White looking inside to Elias. Instead puts the ball on the deck. Dribbles out now out to Elias. Elias going to take a three on the way. No good. Back iron rebounded by White. White goes out to Harrison. Harrison's now going to take a three. No good. Rimmed out. And White, he had Newby, but Newby wasn't paying attention. White tried to know it pass in. Turns it over.
That's something that will come with age. Newby, just a freshman, as we've mentioned before. That's something that court vision will come with him with age.
As good as most of these players are, I'm most excited about Gerard Newby. And I'm looking forward to calling his games for years to come, hopefully. As 9 team fouls for Union now, as Harrison picks up that one. So to the line goes Quentin Wood, where his bread and butter has been thus far with the Bulldogs, or with the Eagles. As he misses that one. Up ahead is White. White crossover dribble on Porter. Takes him to the rack, up off the glass. Good. And White realized that Porter cannot guard him out on the floor. White is a mismatch waiting to happen, and that's what happened there.
Because White, like I've mentioned so many times before, he can do it inside and out, and he's lengthy. So it forces someone who is lengthy like him to come out and guard him, because if he posts up on a guard, he's got the height advantage.
And let me tell you something. That has to please Coach Burton, because the skip pass came to Reno in the corner, and Stevens was there with his hands not only in his face, but knocked the ball away from Reno to not even give him a chance on a three. And there's the length of White knocking that one back in bounds.
And that was the key to the game, too, John. Closing out on the shooters and making them put the ball on the ground. He didn't make them put the ball on the ground, but he forced the ball out of bounds.
And Newby late to get to Porter there. He's going to send Porter to the line now. And that's going to be Newby's, second? So fouls lining up here for the Bulldogs. Luckily, they can go 15 deep in their bench. 25-18 with this free throw on the way from Porter. That first one's good. He shoots at 62% clip from the charity stripe. Harrison comes out, and Smith subs in. And this is one of my favorite lineups for the Bulldogs that he's got in here right now. Very good defensively and dangerous offensively.
Absolutely, John. And something interesting to point out, Newby and Elias both have 2 fouls.
Yeah.
But you cannot put Johnson back in to get his 4th foul, as he already has 3. And you don't. Archie Adams needed a break, and you don't want to take him out and put guards in, as it'd be kind of small as this very tall Reinhardt team.
Stevens gets a screen from Smith. Now Smith slips the screen. 3 straight away, no good. Rebounded by Porter. Kicks it out to Roach. Roach tries to go behind his back, almost taken away by Smith, and now he tries to go between his legs. Now in the corner is Reed. Reed puts it on the deck. May have walked with it. Gives it out to Reno. Reno looking inside to Joseph. Instead going to go back out front to Roach, but he's cut off. Reno has nobody to throw to. Reno picks up his dribble now, gives it off to Reed. Reed driving right. Goes up off the glass. Walk. Turnover.
John, you said it earlier. He may have gotten away with the walk, but not that time.
As now Mike Buter slow to check in off the bench, but he does. Elias checking out.
That was something I was going to mention earlier, John. I was kind of thinking about maybe Mike Buter was taken out of the game because he's not the biggest of guards, not the strongest of guards physically, but he'll try to knock down a shot.
As you speak of him there, almost knocks down that one back iron. As Buter gets it back out front. And like I said, I think Buter's shot will come back to him as the year goes on because he's having to make that transition back to his normal position as a shooting guard.
Exactly.
As now Buter picks up his dribble off to Smith, guarded closely by Reed. Dribbles back out to the middle of the floor. Now kicks it out straight away, right on the U of the UC to Stevens. Stevens. Bounce pass over to Smith as Reed knocks Smith out of the way to get the ball. But Burton's not happy with the way Stevens developed that play.
Tarek Smith not happy with something either. I couldn't tell what he was upset about.
Stevens out to Smith. Back to Stevens for 3. Fade away. No good. Back iron. Great box out by Reed on Newby. Knowing Newby's going to go in there for the offensive rebound. Reed, pass over to Reno. Reno has to put it on the deck. He does, close to being out of bounds. Throws it directly to Tarek Smith. That's why you make shooters put it on the floor, but Reed's back the other way. Somebody's going to come up with it, and it's indeed going to be Smith as Burton calls the quick timeout. Not happy with the officiating there as Burton laughs as he yells out the official. Going to be a 30-second timeout. We're going to take it to catch our breath. 25-20 is your score. 5:44 left. We're going to take a break. You're listening to the Bulldog Sports Network.
I'm at the top of my class.
I am pursuing a double major.
I am a student athlete.
I am pursuing a postgraduate degree.
I am a helping hand.
I am from England.
I am an aspiring artist.
I am a future doctor.
I'm a soldier.
I am inspired.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, the Bulldog Sports Network as Union leads at 25-20 over Reinhardt. Both these teams 7-1 in the conference. Union receiving votes in the national poll as me and Mason Elam up here clamoring for a media timeout. As out of the timeout, Buter for the three, pump fake, puts it on the deck, floater in the lane, good, and one from Michael Buter.
Maybe that will get Mike Buter's shot going. Work inside out. Find your shot inside and work your way back out.
As the Buter chant goes up in the student section behind us, as number 14 is going to go to the line. Try to earn the three-point the old-fashioned way, and we've talked about it before. Buter absolutely fearless in these games, and he's even impressed me. As from the looks of him, he doesn't look like a guy that would want to get in there and get dirty. But I'm telling you, go in there amongst the trees, hit the floater with the contact, and then he hits the and one. Union leads it by 8 out of the timeout.
John, something I want to mention. Nothing phases Mike Buter.
No.
He played in the state championship and won state championship in the state of Kentucky. So he's someone that has faced a lot of pressure in clutch situations, and nothing phases him.
Very fun to watch as he gets a steal there, shoots one over to Watt. Over to Smith. Smith over on the right wing. Between his legs goes up, finger roll. To the rack goes Tarek Smith. 30-20 is your score. Union up by 10 as they lob it up to Reed. It goes off the rim, rebounded by Watt. Now Watt's going the other way. Watt gets in the air. Nobody throws it to him. Now he throws it up to Buter as Buter's going to go to the line for one and a bonus. As a couple of fans, not only Mason Elam wanting an intentional there, as they just wrap Newby up. Newby's going to go to the line. As 30-20 is your score. 5 minutes remaining here in the first half. It's been what we expected thus far, Mason.
Yeah, not disappointing at all, John. I mean,
no.
Quick-paced game. As you mentioned, when we went to a break, it didn't seem like we went that long without a break, but it's been fun so far.
As Newby clanks the first free throw, but he tries to get it back, and now he's going to pick up the cheap foul.
3.
Got to be smarter than that, but he is a freshman. He's going to learn, and going to learn from situations just like that, as now Newby's going to have to take a seat. Now Union has 2 players with 3 fouls, in Johnson and Newby. But they're up 10, and they're out rebounding there. I think it was 21-9. Was that the
that was what it was before it tried to refresh on me, but we've grabbed a couple since then, so I'm waiting for it to refresh, but I'll let you know what we have.
Johnson was in the lane. It looked to me like Johnson was in the lane as I guess it was Union in the lane first, and then Johnson came in too, so I'm not sure, but Reno missed his first in front end of the 1-and-1. Now he's going to have to go back to the line for another one. Laid that one off. This one up. Good. Sereno goes 1 for 2 from the free throw line. Union calls out the play as Turner is in there running point guard duties. Off to Harrison, almost picked off by Reed. Now back out front to Buter. Buter shoots one over to Elias on the left wing. Now back out front to Turner. Back into Buter. Buter driving the lane, gets a screen from Adams, keeps it alive. Now back out front to Harrison.
John, while we have a second, Union doubling Reinhardt's rebound totals. Union has 22 rebounds. Reinhardt has 11.
One of our keys to the game was the long rebounds. There's a foul off Elias. I will say this. Maybe it's because Union works so much on that long rebounds, they're missing and getting the long offensive rebounds. So maybe that's on the flip side of that. You also gain some experience on defense, but also gain it when you step out here on the court and get some offensive rebounds too. They've had a huge night rebounding from Archie Adams.
Yeah, with 6. He has 6 right now. And he's still on the floor with Johnson being in foul trouble.
So 31-21. Your your score. (31-21). 4 minutes and 31 seconds left. As that's a miss, as Harrison tries to keep it alive, and Harrison will sit on the line. So Reinhardt's going to take over. Porter's going to inbound it, and here to Wood. Wood throws it in. He goes to work on Turner. Turner brings it over the timeline, angling towards the middle of the floor, right on the C of that UC logo in the middle of the floor. One hand pass over to Porter. Porter way out of range. Now goes up top to Joseph. Now back over on the left side to Wood. Wood ignores the screen as he attacks Tarek Smith. Bowled Tarek over, but Tarek was moving, going to get called for the block, and that's going to be a double bonus, I do believe, for Reinhardt. So they're going to get 2. Maybe 1 more until the 10th foul, but nonetheless 19 fouls for Reinhardt. It's going to be over 10 for Union now, so it is going to be the double bonus.
John, during shoot-around, Coach Burton was mentioning that Reinhardt's a team that likes to shoot. They're only shooting 7 for 17 from the field today, 41%.
That one's short for Wood.
And one for 4 from the three-point line, which is interesting because they haven't shot as many threes as he made it sound like they were going to.
Well, part of that is because of Union's defense, honestly, is they're closing out great. As several times, Reno's caught it in the corner. The only real bad three they've given up is Porter up top, but ever since then they've been zoning in on him. So really, Reinhardt hasn't got a chance to shoot it.
Which is a good thing for Union, as that was the key to the game too, John.
Buter kicks it over to Smith. See if they try to go backdoor here to Elias, and Smith loses his dribble. Out front to Buter. Buter dribbles up. Crossover on Reno. Now goes down the lane. Jump stop, and he has it taken away from him by Porter temporarily, but gets it back. Out to Adams. Adams kicks it over to Stevens. Now back out front to Smith. And now Union going to call out the play. Smith tries to go behind his back. It's picked off as Reed hits the deck. Kicks it over to Wood. Should have been a walk as that goes up to Porter. Porter dunk.
John, that was a mean dunk, but I do think that Porter got away with the travel, as you are not allowed to grab the ball on your stomach and roll over onto your back.
Tarek Smith not phased at all by the dunk as he comes back down and hits a jumper.
But that dunk could get Reinhardt going, as that is 2 statement dunks in a row. And that's kind of sounded like he broke the rim.
Did sound very, very much so, as the student section all on Joseph after that dunk. Is 2 dunks in a row. As I believe Stevens may have got hit in the face there off of a screen or something. Nonetheless, Reinhardt, as we talked about, not being able to get their threes down, but 2 times in a row they went and attacked the rim and got dunks out of it. So trying to get something going. As you see Coach Burton kind of pointing over there, it's going to be a very, very interesting to see how they come out of this timeout.
And, John, I just want to say, what if he breaks that basket right there? What do you do? What if he pulls down on the rim and breaks it? I mean,
game over. Put the side rims down and play a long way.
Pull the seats back. We'll play sideways.
As Stevens going to bring it over the line as Burton calls out the play.
Buter out on the wing.
Buter gets it. Now it goes back to her, but it's tipped out of bounds by Reed. As Smith comes out, and White checks in. As White calling for it down the lane there, gets it. They screen for Archie. Archie breaks wide open, but Buter can't get it to him. That's going to be an illegal screen. Every time Union runs that play, they get an illegal screen.
Not an illegal screen, John. A push-off on DeAntray Stevens, as he did, in fact, shove Porter as he tried to come off the screen.
Thank you.
And Porter may have played it up a little bit, but enough to get the foul.
Well, let's just set the screen. I don't see what's hard about that, as Wood brings it over the timeline, guarded by Buter. Buter going to get his money's worth on defense right now if he's going to try to stay in front of Wood. Back to Wood. Now White comes out to get Wood.
They're kind of running the diamond switching zone, John.
As Wood goes down the lane and he lets out a screen, probably helped get the call there from the official. But he was trying to finish under contact, and now Tremaine Elias has 3 fouls.
A lot of foul trouble for the Bulldogs early, which will be interesting to see if Coach Burton will go even deeper down that bench, as Sean Brown has yet to see the game, as he saw a lot of playing time in the Crown game.
Yeah, Sean Brown, like we said, one of those type of guys that, he knew his role early in the year and knew when some of these guys got eligible that he would be shifted down the line. But signs of a good team is when good players accept their roles on the team, and that's exactly what this team has bought into.
That's the thing. You have to understand that it is a team effort. And
yeah.
No matter if you're the first guy off the bench or the last guy off the bench, you have to understand your role.
Stevens Elias hits the jumper from a pass from Buter. Great assist by Buter is give Elias 5 points. 35-28, Union still on top. Wood down the lane, kicks it out to number 24, that's Reed. Reed with a skip pass over to Reno. Reno has to put it on the deck, jumper on the baseline, no good, rims out, but rebounded on the weak side by 22, that's Cooper.
Kind of a freshman mistake from Mike Buter as he left his feet trying to block the shot.
Yeah.
As you should have known from the pregame that Coach Burton stressed closing out on your shooters instead of leaving your feet. Make them dribble.
As Wood now crosses Stevens over, dribbles off his foot, now up ahead to Buter. Buter don't even put the ball on the ground to Stevens. Stevens pull up three in transition, no good. Rebounded by Joseph. That would have sent this place into a frenzy.
Oh, it absolutely would have. It would have put the whole place up in roar. I would have loved it.
Now up ahead to Cooper. Now back out front to Reed. And now straight away for Wood. Wood gets a screen from Joseph. Stick goes out to Reed. Way out. No rim. Went off the side of the backboard. Ugly looking shot as Stevens pushing this the other way. No look pass underneath. Now back out to Buter. Buter thinks about the three. Puts it on the deck. Up floater in the lane. That's his shot. Good for Michael Buter.
Michael Buter coming around. Finding his shot, like we said. 2 floaters. He's done well on it now.
As the fans, it may sound like they're booing, but they're actually saying Buter, which I love, by the way. Into Cooper. Cooper pump fake. Nice move off the right block. Up and good for 2. As now we're under a minute to play here in the first half. We've had, 2 breaks during this whole entire first half. And it's flew by.
And it's shown from the players on the floor, from Fitzgerald White walking on the floor there, that they've had foul trouble. And he's been on the floor a lot. Something he's not used to in the second part of the season with more players coming back and getting a little bit less time.
Wood going to get called for the hip check there coming down the lane. As they're going to send Stevens to the line for 2.
Yeah, Fitzgerald White showing a little bit of a few signs of fatigue here. But push through the last 44 seconds and get to the locker room and take your break.
First one up for Stevens. He is now 7 for 7 on the year from the line.
As the student section cheers the trader who has a sling on right now, carrying the water bottles to the locker room.
They have a lot to cheer for right now. It's 38-32 is your score. 44 seconds left here in the first half. Stevens to make it 8 for 8 from the line this season. Good. As now Wood, gonna say maybe they'll go 2 for 1, but I believe they're just gonna play the shot clock out. Wood, crossover dribble, down the lane, floaters up, no good, rebounded by White as he's tipped around. He saves it underneath the opponent's basket, and Reed picks it up and puts it in for 2. Mistake there for White. Turner over the timeline as he holds it up. He's going to try to go to work on Wood. Union will get the last shot here, leading 39-34. White, long three on the way at the buzzer. No good. Or not at the buzzer. 7 seconds left. Excuse me. But Reinhardt steps on the line, and Union is going to keep it.
Union going to benefit from that turnover right there. With 6 seconds left, you're going to get one more shot.
Yeah, you gave up the easy bucket down here on this end, but now at least you get the last shot. 6 seconds on the scoreboard. Out to Smith. Smith gets Buter. 3. No. Pump fake. Now he's going to put it up. Fadeaway jumper by Buter. No good. Off back iron. Tipped in by White at the buzzer, and it's going to count. As Union's going to go to the locker room, leading 41-34 after Fitzgerald White chases the miss by Buter. Nobody blocked him out. Puts it up and in for 2, and that is a momentum-building bucket going into that halftime locker room.
I was going to say, John, it kind of seemed a little bit dead here after Fitzgerald White, turning the ball over here, saving it out of bounds. But he made it up for his team and even the fans, making that tip in the last second there, going into the locker room. It really gave Union a little bit of momentum right before they walked in.
So Bulldogs on top, 41-34. As we're going to take a break, we're going to have first half stats coming to you as you're listening to the Bulldog Sports Network.
I'm at the top of my class.
I am pursuing a double major.
I am a student athlete.
I am pursuing a postgraduate degree.
I am a helping hand.
I am from England.
I am an aspiring artist.
I am a future doctor.
I'm a soldier.
I am inspired.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As the Bulldogs here, they're going to have a little promotional as it is blackout as 41-34 is your score. Union on top here at halftime. We are going to let you see they're going to draw a name. As we're going to see, I think it's a $75 gift card to Walmart if a player can hit a half-court shot, if not a player, but a student can hit a half-court shot, and it's a three-point shootout. And you get 25. So Tim Cooper, they call Tim Cooper the golfer out. Cooper pretty deadly from three, so you would hope that he's the one going to be shooting the three-pointers. As I'm not sure, they're going to make their way down. I'm not sure who's shooting what, but nonetheless, a little promotional thing that Union's got going on. As I see Tim Cooper making his way down. There he is. As I decided to broadcast, I decided to do play-by-play for the for the stuff that's going on here as the Bulldogs lead at 41-34.
Although, John, I don't think, it looks like we got one of the contestants, but I don't think the other one's here.
I'll go down and shoot it. Let me go down and shoot it.
I heard the baseball players up here to our right chanting for "We Want Someone," but I couldn't tell what they were saying.
They're chanting for me is Cody Miller is the other one. I'm not sure if that's the basketball player Cody Miller or nonetheless, I said it before, Tim Cooper down here, the golfer, has a sweet stroke from three.
Does he really?
He does, yeah. One of the best shooters in intramurals.
Oh, freshman baseball player, Caleb, I don't know his last name.
As he gets a big cheer here for the baseball team behind us. As I'm going to let you work on stats over there. Whenever you're ready, just let me know, and we'll I'll let you take them away. As we'll keep the camera here on this on the action. I definitely want to see if the three-pointer.
John, do you want me to move the camera to one side or the other?
Yes, please. Will you please do that? As it's a spur of the moment. As live television.
Which side do we want to put it on, John?
The left side.
Left side.
Oh, wait. Oh, they're going east side. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
That's what I'm saying. What do we want to do here, John?
I don't know. Just come back and do these stats.
Okay.
Crispy's on her way back, so she'll get to it. So 41-34 is the score at halftime. Union on top. We're working on first half stats. Is a little promotional. Like I said, a three-point shootout. Winner gets a $25 gift card to Walmart. As we're underway is Tim Cooper. Misses his first. Freshman baseball player is not sure his name. He misses the next one.
Her first name's Caleb.
Caleb. All right, so it's Tim and Caleb.
Not sure of his last name.
Cooper nails his first over here on the left side. Cooper's next one on the way, no good. Caleb has yet to hit one. Cooper with another one. Make that one for Cooper. None for Caleb. Cooper on the way. Second one's good for Caleb. Fun fact about Cooper. How about this? Once scored the most three-pointers in a quarter in the state of Kentucky.
Nice.
How about I know stats about the players out here, about the golf team out there shooting three-pointers. As Tim Cooper has three, Caleb has yet to hit one. Has 17 seconds left. Make that four for Cooper. Cooper running away with it now.
Caleb's got a nice little stroke, I'm not going to lie.
5 for Cooper. Has none for Caleb in 6 seconds. I believe this one will belong to Tim Cooper. There's one for Caleb. But there's 6 for Tim Cooper. As that's going to do it. Tim Cooper, the golfer, is going to come away with the win on that one. So go ahead with your first game stats here for the men.
Oh, we're doing stats now?
Yeah,
we're done with the halftime stuff. Anyway, starting out with Reinhardt, the leading scorer, Matt Porter with 11. Following him, you have Quentin Wood with 7, Luke Joseph with 5, Tanner Reno with 3. I'm sorry, skipped a number. Math still hasn't come to me yet, John. Josh Cooper has 4, and with 2, you have how do you pronounce that name, John? Number 5.
Thomas. That's his last name.
Thanks.
Lecarius Thomas.
Lecarius Thomas with 2, and William Reed with 2. Other stats, though, they have Reinhardt has 15 total rebounds, only 5 assists, which is interesting to note. From the field, they've shot 48%, 20% from beyond the arc, and 9 for 14, 64% from the free throw line. For Union, again, DeAntray Stevens leading them with points with 12. Behind him, you have Tarek Smith with 9, Fitzgerald White with 8, Tremaine Elias with 5, and also Michael Buter with 5. And Archie Adams has 2. Other stats for Union, they have 9 turnovers, only 4 assists, and 25 total rebounds. From the field, they shot 40%, 15 for 37, and 3 for 18 from beyond the arc. 16% for the Bulldogs from beyond the arc. Interesting to point out, John, an 80%, 8 for 10 from the free throw line. And I'll let you get back to our halftime as we have a half-court competition. I think the first one to make it gets another gift card, John.
$75 gift card, and Caleb and Cooper almost come away with that one. As I got Frisbee up here running the camera. As now Calhoun's going to take one. It doesn't even come close. Brittany Calhoun also out there. That's going to do it. They're going to give Brittany Calhoun 2. Let's see. Calhoun takes a long
Whoa. She was way across the half-court line.
Referee Mason up here saying she stepped too far across the line. But that's going to do it for our halftime show, I guess you could say.
John, interesting fact. Do you remember the UK game where the kid got the half-court shot, but he taken away from him because his toe was across the half-court line?
Fun fact, I was at that game.
Were you really?
Yeah, I was at that game when he hit it, and there was a lot. They ended up giving it back to him because they started a whole ordeal about Kroger, but I digress. The score at halftime is 41-34.
Back to our game here right now.
Yeah, Union on top with about 7 minutes and 30 seconds to go before we start our second half. So we're going to take a break. We'll be back here in about 5 minutes. We're going to take an extended break. You're listening to the Bulldog Sports Network.
I'm at the top of my class.
I am pursuing a double major.
I am a student athlete.
I am pursuing a postgraduate degree.
I am a helping hand.
I am from England.
I am an aspiring artist.
I am a future doctor.
I'm a soldier.
I am inspired.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together, we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu.
I'm the first college graduate in my family.
I am a fan of classic literature.
I am a fine arts major.
I am strong in my faith.
I am a fitness fanatic.
I am a champion.
I am working my way through college.
I am ambitious.
I am a Southern Belle.
I'm a single parent in college.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together, we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu.
Whether it's new or used parts you need, car parts, truck parts, SUV parts, foreign and domestic parts, any part from A to Z, Davis Salvage and Auto Parts on the Cumberland Falls Highway in Corbin has it or can find it. Davis Salvage specializes in late model auto and truck parts. For over 40 years, the Davis family has supplied customers all over the United States with new and used auto and truck parts. Davis Salvage open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 p.m. or online at davissalvage.com. Take a look at their inventory. Davis Salvage and Truck Parts on the Cumberland Falls Highway in Corbin, the only place to go for all your vehicle needs. Whether it's new or used parts you need, car parts, truck parts, SUV parts, foreign and domestic parts, any part from A to Z, Davis Salvage and Auto Parts on the Cumberland Falls Highway in Corbin has it or can find it. Davis Salvage specializes in late model auto and truck parts. For over 40 years, the Davis family has supplied customers all over the United States with new and used auto and truck parts. Davis Salvage open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 p.m. or online at davissalvage.com. Take a look at their inventory. Davis Salvage and Truck Parts on the Cumberland Falls Highway in Corbin, the only place to go for all your vehicle needs.
Pool parties are making a huge splash at the new Stivers Aquatic and Wellness Center in Barberville, home of the area's only indoor Olympic-sized swimming pool. Guests will enjoy 2 hours of fun in both the pool and party room. Parties are now being scheduled for any day of the week. Book yours today. Call 546-0005 or visit us on the web at stiverscenter.org. Stivers Aquatic and Wellness Center. It's good for you. Pool parties are making a huge splash at the new Stivers Aquatic and Wellness Center in Barberville, home of the area's only indoor Olympic-sized swimming pool. Guests will enjoy 2 hours of fun in both the pool and party room. Parties are now being scheduled for any day of the week. Book yours today. Call 546-0005 or visit us on the web at stiverscenter.org. Stivers Aquatic and Wellness Center. It's good for you. Pool parties are making a huge splash at the new Stivers Aquatic and Wellness Center in Barberville, home of the area's only indoor Olympic-sized swimming pool. Guests will enjoy 2 hours of fun in both the pool and party room. Parties are now being scheduled for any day of the week. Book yours today. Call 546-0005 or visit us on the web at stiverscenter.org. Stivers Aquatic and Wellness Center. It's good for you.
I'm at the top of my class.
I am pursuing a double major.
I am a student athlete.
I am pursuing a postgraduate degree.
I am a helping hand.
I am from England.
I am an aspiring artist.
I am a future doctor.
I'm a soldier.
I am inspired.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu.
I'm the first college graduate in my family.
I am a fan of classic literature.
I am a fine arts major.
I am strong in my faith.
I am a fitness fanatic.
I am a champion.
I am working my way through college.
I am ambitious.
I am a Southern Belle.
I'm a single parent in college.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu.
Whether it's new or used parts you need, car parts, truck parts, SUV parts, foreign and domestic parts, any part from A to Z, Davis Salvage and Auto Parts on the Cumberland Falls Highway in Corbin has it or can find it. Davis Salvage specializes in late model auto and truck parts. For over 40 years, the Davis family has supplied customers all over the United States with new and used auto and truck parts. Davis Salvage open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 p.m. or online at davissalvage.com. Take a look at their inventory. Davis Salvage and Truck Parts on the Cumberland Falls Highway in Corbin, the only place to go for all your vehicle needs.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The Bulldog Sports Network, 41-34 is your score at the half. 2 minutes to go here before we tip it off in the second half. A little Sweet Caroline breaking out here in the student section. How awesome was that?
That was pretty cool. You know, you hear it every seventh inning in Boston at Fenway Park.
Absolutely.
And it kind of takes you a little bit back to that, John.
It's a little more haunting, I think, at Fenway Park than Robeson
you have
Arena,
every single person in that stadium singing that.
But,
I mean, I've never been there, but I want to go, John.
But a great moment here in Robeson Arena. Everybody singing. A great atmosphere. A big shout-out. If any of the students go back and watch this, big shout-out to you guys for absolutely bringing it here for this big-time conference matchup, as it's going to be a second half of adjustments, as it was all Bulldogs here in that second half. Reinhardt, it's a good team. So, I mean, for Union to be up 41-34 right now and only hold Reinhardt to 34 points in the first half is a win for Coach Burton.
John, you challenged the students last game on Monday against Crown. You challenged them. You said you wanted them to show up, and guess what, John? They came in full force. I think however many people we have here, close to 1,300, I think all of them showed up, John.
I think so, too. And this is a time that I wish our broadcast booth was over on the other side so you could see all the students and how packed it is. A fantastic job by Coach Burton and his crew for having a good team for these students to show up and cheer for, as well as the women's team. So 41-34, under a minute now before we get tipped off. It's going to be interesting. A couple things here to watch out for in the second half. When does DeAntray Johnson come off that bench? When does Newby come off that bench? And I think third in line would be when does Elias come off that bench? I think reverse order of when they're going to come into this ball game. I think you're going to see Elias and Newby before you see Johnson. But we'll see what Coach Burton does coming out of this timeout.
Exactly.
Out of halftime.
And it will also be interesting, John, to see how Johnson does after sitting for such a long time. I know he was just stretching his legs. I'm not sure if it wasn't on camera, but he was just stretching his legs out there. So it'll be interesting to see if he plays with the same intensity or even more intensity than he did in the first half.
Hey, this is a huge conference matchup. He wants to be in this match. And this matchup and just unable to do it at the moment. So Bulldogs going to be on defense here to start out the second half. Reinhardt will take over. It's Turner, Harrison, Adams, White, and Smith out there for the Bulldogs as Roach brings it across half court. Let's see if they trap off the first pass. Instead, Roach is going to keep it on his own, go against Adams, goes up, no good. It's great defense by Adams, gets the block.
Good pump fake by Roach to get Adams off the ground, though. If he would have gone into it, he might have drawn the foul.
As Coach Burton is always very strategic no matter what his substitutions is. Turner started this half strictly for defensive purposes off the first play of the game, and now Stevens comes to the top, comes to the scores table to get ready to go in.
John, I honestly think he might have been at the scores table as soon as they passed the ball in because I didn't even notice him, and then all of a sudden I looked up and he's at the scores table.
And I've seen it before from Coach Burton. He is, he's not afraid to. Sometimes he'll come out with just a defensive lineup just for the one possession. He coaches by possessions. As Turner, as you see, he comes out.
And like I mentioned last game too, he's not afraid to do that offensive defensive substitutions early in halves and early in games, which he just showed.
Absolutely. So Reinhardt throws it into Wood as he walks it over the timeline. Guarded by Stevens. 41-34, still your score. A minute gone here in the second half. Wood gets a screen from Joseph, goes up a contested shot, up and good. Don't want to see Wood get hot as he has 9. Averages 21 a game. White straight away off to Tarek Smith on the left wing. Smith up to Stevens, up top, straight away 3 on the way. Good for Stevens out of halftime. He is unconscious from the three-point line. Absolutely unconscious.
John, your reverse order theory did not work out as Johnson at the table already in the second half.
How about that? It's up ahead. Archie Adams in front of everybody. Gathers up off the right block. No good. On offensive rebound. Puts it up and in.
While he grabbed his own board and made his own layup, John, I think if he does not hesitate as soon as he first catches the ball, he's easy layup on the first shot.
He wanted to pad his rebounding stats as that's a bad shot by Wood as Harrison gets the rebound. Now Union off again. Union off to Smith. Smith, corner. Stevens for 3 on the way. Good for Stevens. It rattles home as Union on fire to come out at halftime. As what an offensive display for DeAntray Stevens. Give him 18 as Union leads it 49-36.
John, he never ceases to fail. I've said it once earlier in the game, and I'll say it again, John. Anywhere, you can put him anywhere on the floor, and he'll make a jump shot. You can put him at half court. I wish he would have been on the halftime show for at half court. He probably would have made it on the first shot, John. He'll shoot from anywhere.
This team is absolutely clicking on all cylinders at the moment. As this was 41-34 at halftime. Make it 49-36 now.
John, he has 18 points. 18 points, and we're not even done.
As he don't even have a green light. He doesn't even have a light. It's just shoot. Shoot, young fellow, wherever you get it. Porter inbounds to Wood.
And obviously Coach Burton is okay with it because every time he shoots, he doesn't say a word.
Every game I say I'm going to ask Coach Burton if Stevens has the red light or a green light or not, and I think that theory's already proven. As Wood tries to attack the rack, goes up off the glass and good.
John, as you mentioned, you don't want to see him get hot as he's got four points already this half, quick and early.
Coach Burton calls out the play as Stevens brings it over the timeline. Working on Wood. Wood off to, Stevens off to Smith and now into Johnson. Johnson walks.
John, Wood might take it upon himself to bring Reinhardt, either get him the lead or bring him closer in this game because you saw him clapping his hands up there while he was guarding Stevens. He might put the team on his back and bring him into the lead in this game.
He brings it over the timeline. He's used to doing so. Union showing a little bit of zone here. Over to Reed, and now in the corner for Reno. Reno probably had an open look for 3, but he's got White over there, and you don't want to shoot over the long arms of White until they kick it back out front to Wood. Wood, straight away, tries to pass it past Stevens. Stevens picks him off. Now up ahead to Harrison. Harrison up off the glass, blocked hard by Reed, and the cheerleader goes down as well.
Trainer.
Yeah, exactly, as now Joseph on the other end and tries to put it up and in. No good. Rebounded by Stevens. Now Stevens pushes over the timeline, over to White. White No look pass into Johnson. Johnson with a bucket. 51-38. As the Reinhardt player went right into that cheerleader's knee. I hope she's okay as Wood kicks it over to Reed. Reed kicks it out top to Reno over on the deep right wing. Now back up top to Reed. Reed looked for Reno, and now Reno just throws his hands up as Fitzgerald White. It's going to be a foul. I cannot believe that, as Wood going to get called for the foul. Fitzgerald White went behind his back, got it caught on his back.
I was going to say, I think Fitz might have gotten bailed out there. He kind of had a little smile on his face right there. He put the ball against his back and trapped it. I think he got bailed out, John.
I think he did too. As Stevens off to Harrison. Harrison pump fake now to Stevens over on the right wing. Goes inside to Johnson. Johnson faces up. Back out front to Smith. Smith back to Stevens. As the cheerleader gets a big round of applause from the student section. As she's back at the line of duty. Stevens straight away three. No good. Rims out. But rebounded by Johnson. Johnson comes up with it, working on Joseph. Goes up and in for two. Does DeAntray Johnson.
John, another interesting point. I just want a random fact. I was at Stivers last night, and Stevens, Johnson, and Elias, all three working their bodies out in the pool because they said they're so sore from their last couple games that they just needed to relax and get in the pool and just relax for a little bit.
Nice. Stevens off to Smith. Back up top of the key to White. White now to Harrison. Harrison working on Reno. Gets it off to Stevens. Stevens working on Reed. As one-handed shovel pass into White as White dribbles it back out. Working on Porter. As between his legs, he's going to get called for a carry. Hits the three, but gets called for the carry. As Archie Adams quickly up off the bench, probably going to get DeAntray out of there on defense, and indeed, that's what Burton's going to do.
Yeah, John, Elias and Newby still on the bench, your reverse order theory.
It did not work.
Didn't work, but maybe he's, like you said, you've tried to figure him out in past years.
Can't do it.
But maybe he knows something we don't. Or maybe he's thinking something completely opposite that works better than what we think.
So, that's not Reed. That's Roach brings it over the timeline, gets a screen, tries to go inside to Swint. Swint throws it back out to Reed. Now back out front to Wood. Good close out by Union. Great steal by Adams. Adams with a give and go to Smith. Gives it to the better ball handler. Smith attacking. No look pass to Harrison. Harrison goes baseline. Kicks it back out front to Turner. Now Union's going to reset to White. White may get away with a walk. Step back three on the way.
Bang,
good
bang.
for Fitzgerald White. Are you kidding me? 56-40.
That is a statement from Union. Coming up in the half, putting up their lead real big, 16 points. Early in the second half. Still a lot of half to play, John.
There is, but Union came out on fire.
Stevens going behind the bench to get to the scorer's table. He said, I'm not running through Coach Burton. I'll just go around him.
As Woods, three is no good. Johnson going to come in now that Union's going to go on the offensive end. Adams comes out, Turner comes out, and Stevens comes in.
I think he's going to run the offense-defense duo with Stevens and Johnson and Turner and Adams.
Coach Burton does not coach games. He coaches possessions.
Yes, he does.
That takes a lot of patience for a coach. As Stevens brings it over the timeline. Throws it up to Harrison, who's broken wide open. Now off to Smith. Smith with a long three on the way. No good air ball. Smith found himself a little too wide open right there in a little bit of an odd angle, but air ball.
And another thing, if Harrison just turns, I know he was running the play and all, but if he just faces up to the basket, he had a wide open shot.
I don't think he realized how open he was. Wood brings it over the timeline.
But you got to give him credit for listening to his coach and running the play all the way through.
Over to Roach. Roach double teamed and throws it off the foot of Stevens. Stevens very active defensively too. We talk about how good he is offensively. But a steal earlier on Wood, and now kicks that one off his shoe as a newbie now coming in for Smith.
Union up to 31 rebounds on the day, John, compared to Reinhardt's 18.
Over to Wood as Wood brings it across the timeline. Guarded by White. White got his hands down. I was worried about that for a second, but Wood dishes off to Roach. Now works on Harrison. Roach back out to Wood. Wood goes down the lane. Floater up good. Over three Union defenders. Puts that one up and in. 56-43. 16 points for Wood. I believe it's the only Reinhardt player in double figures. No, Matt Porter.
I was just say, John, I think there's another.
Stevens straight away, 3, good! In Roach's grill as Stevens nails that one. 21 points for DeAntray Stevens.
Gotta love
isn't
the
this team fun to watch?
You gotta love the transfer from Cincinnati, Ohio, John. You gotta love having him part of this team. You wish you would have had him in the first half. Could you imagine his total season stats if he was here for the entire season?
Stevens on defense on Roach. Fun to watch. Roach wants to get him back for the 3. He's not going to do it as there's Porter on the baseline. Swings it up. Or excuse me, Cooper swings it up and good. Cooper has 6 points. Only averaging 4.2 points a game, but Union really locked down everybody else, and they're going to their third and fourth option now is Reinhardt. White gets his hand knocked down as now Wood on the run. Wood out front through Reed. Reed with a long 3, no good. Rebounded by Newby. Newby puts it on the deck, now gives it up to Stevens. Stevens dangerous in transition as he goes down on Wood, down the lane, up for 2. Ooh. What a move by Stevens. He hit the deck hard as Coach Burton calls a quick timeout. What a take by DeAntray Stevens. Give him 23. 61-45 is your score. 12:48 remaining in the contest. We're going to take a break. You're listening to the Bulldog Sports Network.
I'm at the top of my class.
I am pursuing a double major.
I am a student athlete.
I am pursuing a postgraduate degree.
I am a helping hand.
I am from England.
I am an aspiring artist.
I am a future doctor.
I'm a soldier.
I am inspired.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The Bulldog Sports Network, 61-45 is Union is led at the moment by DeAntray Stevens with 23 points.
Oh.
DeAntray Stevens, since we're coming to this Bulldogs team, he's been here since the beginning of the year, but was just eligible at Christmas. The first game back was against Alasoy. He's averaging 15 points a game. Union, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players in double figures for this squad. That's their average. So that's what I said the other night. When you've got 5 players out there on the floor that can score 20, how are you going to shut a team like that down?
Exactly. I mean, you can't, John. The only thing you can do is eliminate one player and hope that, or do what we did, because we had one good player on our team who averaged close to 20 points a game in high school. Most teams just let him have his and shut down every other player on the floor, but with this team, you can't do that with 6 players averaging double figures.
As Wood may have got a foul there, but it's going to be a foul on White on Cooper.
As here comes your offensive substitutions back.
Stevens and Johnson.
And
Buter coming in. Offensive firepower over there. Turner knows he's coming out. He's over there ready to sub out.
Again, Turner knows his role.
Yep.
He understands that he's coming out, and he'll get back in. But that's a part of the team coming together as a team, understanding your role.
Once this team, and I think they're coming into it, once this team recognizes their role and embraces that role, which they have, that's when you become deadly, and that's what the Bulldogs are showing right now, flexing their conference muscle, 61-46 now.
Yeah, John,
nails the second one.
I'd be afraid to face a team like this, like the Bulldogs, in a tournament, even in a conference tournament, or even in nationals.
I agree.
Honestly, put them in clutch situations. They've shown what they can do as they've busted this lead wide open.
I don't think they're as athletic as they could be to perform on a national level, but you get you get a good seed as we're way ahead of ourselves here. But nonetheless, I think this team is built for a conference championship run. As Buter down the lane has his shot blocked hard by Swint, and now Wood is on the run. Union backpedaling a little as Wood with a nice crossover on Smith, but great switch there by Buter to keep the defensive possession alive for the Bulldogs.
Still got to hope for the best, John. Even though we're ahead of ourselves, you still got to hope for the best.
As Carius Thomas nails the 3, buries it. Thomas shoots it at a 38% clip.
Hasn't shot much today, as he only has 5 points tonight.
The better shooter on the team, and he's just a catch-and-shoot guy. He's attempted way more threes than he has, too, so Union's got to realize that, and I think they will, and they have thus far. Out front to White. White, one dribble, straightaway 3, no good. Rims out as Tarek Smith is there for the rebound. Up and no good for Tarek, but he's going to the line after the floater for 2.
John, I know Thomas's number is one that Coach Burton was calling out a lot during the walkthrough and shoot-around this morning. or not this morning, this afternoon. Him, Wood, and Roach, all three of their numbers were ones that he called out and said that they like to shoot a lot and that we need to close out on them. And that's what they've done all night, as only one of those three players is in double digits and two of them are on the board.
Smith nails the first one, puts him in double figures with 10. Union with three players at least in double figures, and Fitzgerald White with 11. DeAntray Stevens has 23, and Tarek has 10. I'm not sure if anybody else does. I know you got the stat sheet in front of you.
No, those are the only three that, as of at least half, John.
So 11 points for Tarek Smith now, as well as Roach going to let this one bounce and take over as he brings it across the timeline, doing point guard duties. Union showing a little bit of that zone. Out front to Cooper. Cooper throws it to Roach on the deep left wing. Now he dribbles to the middle of the floor. Gets the screen, had the three if he wanted it. And now in the corner goes Thomas as Harrison just picked it out of midair. He didn't even block it. He just grabbed it. So I guess that's a steal instead of a block. White fakes one way, goes down the middle now to Harrison. 4-3, no good, rims out. Adams is there to try to rebound against Thomas, but Thomas comes away with it. Now off to Wood. Wood over the timeline, handoff to Thomas, and now inside to Swint. Swint working off the right block, goes up and in for two. Reinhardt trying to get this one within 10 with under 10 to play. Thomas, angling right. Going to get a screen from Fitzgerald White as they double team Thomas right off of that, and Thomas keeps his dribble alive. Also sign of a good point guard there. He doesn't lose his cool, puts it on the deck, even though he got double teamed, kept going.
And, John, he easily could have pulled up for a little floater there, but like I said before, past first player, saw Archie Adams on the other block and gave it to him, even though he got fouled beforehand.
Stevens going to inbound. See if they look for him off the inbounds. No, they're going to look for Tarek Smith as Tarek Smith has his ball blocked out of bounds.
Got to appreciate little Mike Buter going in amongst the taller and stronger players, setting a screen inside for Tarek right there.
Smith goes inside to Johnson. Johnson goes up against Swin, up and in for two.
Thought he got fouled there, John, but maybe he went straight. Maybe who was that? Swint went straight up there. I'm not sure.
Johnson's just going to have to learn to play through contact because of the way teams play him. As Wood goes in, partially blocked by Johnson. He was late retreating, but Wood gets his own ball back. Now he goes up back against Johnson. Johnson can't really defend as aggressive as he liked, and it's up for two and good. Now Stevens on the other way as he throws up a floater off front iron. No good. Is now Roach on the run, looking for Thomas instead, going out to Porter. Porter for three in transition, no good. Bounce back, rebounded by Stevens. Stevens spin move on Roach as Roach just shakes his head no, but Roach almost got burned on that one.
And even as Stevens just showed in that last special when he drove to the lane, John, before he shot the floater, he looked around to see if there was anyone open around the three-point line. So
it was a good shot.
My point still stands tall.
As he splits the double team, no one passed over to Buter for three. Go! Buter!
Mike Buter said last night that he's been trying to find a shot in practice and after games. Let's see if that picks up his shot, John.
What a split of a double team for DeAntray Stevens to hook Michael Buter up with that pass. That was fantastic. As Porter with a wide open shot in the middle. Fitzgerald White going to get caught for the late cheap foul there. And all Coach Burton has to say about that is talk. You have to talk to know where Porter and these shooters are at all times.
And that's Fitzgerald White's fourth foul, John. See how Coach Burton plays around that. As Elias runs the scores table, only assuming he's coming in for White.
Porter knew he missed that one as Tarek Smith goes up for the rebound. Dish it off to Stevens. Stevens going to walk this one over the timeline. Union leads at 68-55, 8:57 to play in the game. Stevens off to Smith for three. Good. Good, and Coach Burton wants a timeout to make sure everything is in line for his team. 71-55. As Stevens just says, let's go, as he walks to the bench. 71-55, 8:48 to play. Union all over Reinhardt. We're going to take a break. You're listening to the Bulldog Sports Network.
First college graduate in my family.
I am a fan of classic literature.
I am a fine arts major.
I am strong in my faith.
I am a fitness fanatic.
I am a champion.
I am working my way through college.
I am ambitious.
I am a Southern Belle.
I'm a single parent in college.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The Bulldog Sports Network, 71-55 is the score, 8:48 to play in the game. Union definitely opening up this lead a little bit on Reinhardt, as Reinhardt is trying to double-team DeAntray Stevens as he comes across the paint, as assist leaders is still going to say Buter with 2. But I believe that is unofficial. We're going to have to see final game stats, but I know DeAntray Stevens at least has 2 back-to-back. So it's going to be very interesting to see, as 71-55 your score, 8:48 remaining.
John Stevens, Buter, and Tarek Smith, all 3 tied with 2 assists.
There we go.
I'm not sure if they've put that in the computer correctly or what, but that's what we have here. So we'll see in final game stats.
As Porter is going to inbound it. Into Roach. Roach really taking it personal that DeAntray Stevens is abusing him right now. As you saw several times him shaking his head and taking it on himself to try to guard Stevens, try to cool him off.
John, an interesting point to note that Reinhardt has 30 points in the paint and only 25 from outside of the paint, which is a good thing for Union because that was kind of the key to the game, to keep him off the three-point line.
See, they kept him off the three-point line, and so far successful, 71-55. Trying to push this lead to 20. If they can do so, that would send the shockwaves through the AAC.
That would kind of put a stamp on Union as this
the
is
team to beat in
exactly.
the AAC.
And not unfortunately, but for Union, they have to realize that from here on out for the rest of the season, whoever they play is going to come at them with their best and all they have, because simply they are the best team in the conference. And if you beat them, it kind of puts your team, if you're one of the teams like Montreat or Tennessee Wesleyan, who's a 5-3, it makes you look better if you beat that team.
Absolutely. Union's already beaten Tennessee Wesleyan once. They've beaten Bryan on the road at Bryan. Montreat really the only team who has that tiebreaker over Union thus far, but they're 5-3, so they're going to have to use some help from that bottom half of the AAC to even have a chance. And that's not saying Union goes down to Reinhardt and gets some payback. That's going to be, I think, now they go to Truett McConnell. The men's and women's team will go to Truett McConnell this Saturday. That's picked off. Stevens gets a steal there. Stevens walks it over the timeline, guarded by Roach. Roach trying his best to guard Stevens, but Stevens. That's 5 seconds.
Yep.
As Coach Burton says he calls a timeout. The official's not going to grant Burton the timeout. He called a timeout. They didn't give it to him. I'll have to go back and see that. Roach tries to fire one into Swint. Swint goes up with 3 Union players on him. No good. Tipped around. Let's see who comes away with it. As it's Swint. Swint working off that block, and the great block by Newby is now Archie Adams going to get called for the foul.
Coach Gillespie a little upset over there as he was yelling to his players to rebound the ball. Quit tipping it around. Come down with the ball and go back up with it.
Well, you tip the ball around against these Union players. They're so long and athletic that they're going to come down with it. You got to go up with a 2-hand strong rebound. And Swint wasn't doing that. He was trying to go up and battle Newby with it. Newby's got those go-go gadget arms.
Swint and Porter both. Swint and Porter both were tipping the ball around, John. And that's what he was yelling. And he was a little frustrated after the foul was called, trying to tell him, just grab the ball and either kick it back out, set up your another offense, or go straight back up with it and get a foul like they did.
Swint misses the first one. Second one on the way. No good. Back iron tipped around. Rebounded by Smith. Smith off to Stevens as Union. Look for them to run some offense now. No need to be in a hurry. 8 minutes to play in this one. Off to Buter. Buter going to attack the rack. Goes up. Blocked by Porter. Buter not worried about getting blocked, though.
That's where Buter runs into trouble when he runs in amongst his offensive foul. Good charge by Elias right there.
Way to step in there, Tremaine Elias, to take that charge.
As I was saying, that's where Buter runs into trouble sometimes, where he gets in amongst the 6-7 players and gets blocked. But obviously, like you said, not fazed by it at all, just ran back down the floor and played his game.
Not scared at all by it. Is Michael Buter, fan favorite here in Robinson Arena, friend of Mason Elam. Off to Smith on the right wing. Smith has Johnson and finally goes into Johnson, then gets it back out to Smith. I think from here on out, the last 7:30, that at least one touch for Johnson per possession just to run that offense. As once again, Stevens tries to split the double team. That time he can. It's taken away from him. May could have been a foul. They're not going to call it. Reno in the corner, guarded by Elias. Has to put it on the deck, though. Reno goes up for the layup. No good as it's tipped way out to Roach. Roach dribbles up over to Porter. Now in the corner for Reno. His first open look of the game, but misses it. That's the first open look Reno has had with 7 minutes left in this contest.
You got to feel good about that if you're Coach Burton. I mean, you're giving one of their best shooters on the floor 0 open looks for the game, John, until 7 minutes left in the game. It's impressive.
Smith looking inside to Elias, gets it to him. Elias on the baseline, picks up his dribble, pass into Johnson. Now back out to Stevens. Stevens thinks about the three, puts it on the deck as he fires one into Johnson, but it's going to be a foul, late foul. I believe it's going to be on Reno. Reno shaking his head no.
If you're Reno, you're a lot smaller than Johnson, so you got to use every way you can to try to keep him off that block when you get switched onto him like that. And that's what he tried to do there, John.
Reno obviously knew he fouled. That's why he knew the foul was on him. Stevens into Buter. Now to Smith. Looking inside to Johnson. Instead goes back outside to Stevens. Stevens puts it on the deck. Floater in midair. Good. Great body control in midair to put that up and in off the glass because he wasn't going to pass. He was looking to dish it off as there's another open look for Reno, but Johnson is out there to guard it. Porter skies for the rebound as Johnson's out of the paint. Now Wood, who's checked back in the game, dishes it off to Reno. Reno on the baseline. Good.
Yeah, John, that was good body control. As you said, he had the ball on his hip and quickly got it back up in front of his face to shoot the ball in.
73-58. Buter up top, almost walks with it and kicks it out to Tarek Smith. Now to Elias. Back straight away from Stevens. He swings it to Smith. Smith looking for Elias, who goes baseline. Instead goes in the middle to Johnson. Johnson takes the jumper. Nails the 15-footer, does the big man.
Not something you see from Johnson very often. Stepping out and showing his J-word from out beyond the free throw line.
Union leading this one by 17. Elias goes up for the rebound, grabs it, and just hands it off to Stevens. Union look to run some more offense. Off to Buter on the right wing. Buter back out front to Smith, now to Elias. Buter cutting, can't get it to him. Instead goes out to Stevens. Stevens another long three on the way. Good as he falls to the ground. And he blows off the guns and puts them back into his holsters as he nails the three. 28 points for DeAntray Stevens as he extends this up to 20. Wood goes up, no good as Joseph's going to get it on the block, puts it up and in on Johnson.
Stevens kind of saying, here I am, come guard me.
As Smith way down the other end puts it up for two. As Burton is not happy. He wanted to hold that one up. He does not want to get in a run and gun game up 20 with under 5 left to play.
No, he was not happy because the officials did not stop the game for the injured Elias.
Oh, thank you.
That was bent over here in front of the Reinhardt bench. So he was unhappy with the officials yet again.
I love the DeAntray Stevens. He blew off the guns and holstered them as he came back down the floor.
What a game for DeAntray Stevens. What a
28
game.
28 points coming out party. Hey, AAC, get ready for that young man, number 31.
John, this kid's only a sophomore. I am excited for these next 2 years to see what this kid can actually do.
Roach putting it on the deck, goes up, partially blocked by Adams. As Joseph going to get it on the baseline, fouled by Maurice Turner from behind. Now Union's going to put Reinhardt in the bonus after the second foul on Turner. First one's up and good.
DeAntray Stevens only listed with 3 assists, 4 rebounds, John. Seems like he has more assists than that.
It does, but I guess that's just because he's been drawing the defenders off of. I know he had 1 to Smith, 1 to Buter, and maybe he does have 3, but it just seemed like a lot more as Joseph makes both threes. Most free throws.
There you go.
I was looking at DeAntray Stevens' name, and I automatically thought three-pointer in my head as Stevens brings it over the timeline. As 80-62 is your score, 4 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. Back out front to Stevens.
He'll have that.
Stevens into Newby. Newby off the block, back out to Buter. Stevens was open. He wanted that three.
He was calling for it. You knew he was going to shoot that too. standing over in front of Coach Burton.
That's a nice move again for Stevens. Stevens
Oh!
off a fadeaway jumper, no way. Front iron, no good. It's rebounded by Elias.
Fresh
Coach Burton
35.
says hold it up.
Fresh 35,
Yep.
though, John. That's the important part about getting that offensive rebound.
Is DeAntray trying to put on a show?
Oh, he's already put on a show, John. 28 points. And who knows how many from beyond the arc. As the students behind us to our right are yelling, shoot it, every time he touches the ball.
Stevens down the rack. Out to Tarek Smith. Corner three on the way. No good. Rims out. Tipped around. Stevens has to block it, but he misses the bunny. He can hit it. He can hit it from 35 feet, but he can't hit the bunny from the left-handed block. 80-62. 3 minutes and 45 seconds. That's the most open he's been this game, so he didn't know how to react.
Oh, that's funny, John. He can't hit one from 2 feet, but he can hit one from 32 feet. John, some of the students are calling it a wrap already.
Indeed they are. As that ball's tipped around, Newby gets the rebound.
John, I've seen stranger things happen. With 3:41, there's still a lot of ball game left.
Especially, I mean, I know it's 18-point lead here for the Bulldogs, but especially with the firepower that this Reinhardt team has, is there's going to be reaching on Wood as he tried to attack Buter. What he doesn't know is Buter has ran point guard for half the year, so he's no stranger to handling the ball out in the open floor.
As I say, that's the thing with Reinhardt here. For a team that supposedly could shoot the three pretty well, only taking 12 shots from beyond the arc tonight and only made 2 of them. For a team that can shoot well from beyond the arc, this game could turn around real quick.
As White made the same bad mistake there, why didn't he just go on over the half-court line and catch it? Almost turned it over. As now Stevens down the lane loses it off his foot, turns it over. Burton is not happy with that.
Not at all.
Got to be able to finish this game strong as Wood goes up, blocked out of bounds by White.
Had Coach Burton had a clipboard, it might have been broken over his knee on that one because he showed some disgust and anger after Stevens turning that ball over.
Coach Burton coaches every possession like it is a conference championship game, and he is not going to ease up just because he's up 80-62 with 3 minutes and 13 seconds left.
Not at all, John. And as we reach...
As Roach takes the long three, that's why you can't count him out.
As we reach closer to this, the end of the season and get to the AAC tournament, I will be excited to travel to Kingsport and watch this team play because, as we've seen in conference play already this year, good games, very good games. So I'll be excited to see that carry over to the tournament.
Harrison is going to be able to have to run the point guard as Wood has covered up Stevens here. Looking inside to Adams, and now finds Harrison, who slips. Nice hesitation on the block on Cooper. Puts it up and in for 2. 82-65, Union on top. 2:35 remaining.
Gives Harrison his first points of the night and doesn't really score much.
Cooper going to take a corner three. Good. And Coach Gillespie going to call a timeout. Coach Burton just shaking his head, not going to be happy with the way his team is finishing this contest. 82-68. 2:28 remaining. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to the Bulldog Sports Network.
I'm at the top of my class.
I am pursuing a double major.
I am a student athlete.
I am pursuing a postgraduate degree.
I am a helping hand.
I am from England.
I am an aspiring artist.
I am a future doctor.
I'm a soldier.
I am inspired.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The Bulldog Sports Network. 82-68 is your score. 2:28 remaining. And this one is Burton is over there on the sideline, and he is not happy with the way his team has played defensively here in the last couple of possessions. As he wanted this to be a 20-point lead and sit on that 20-point lead. They haven't done it thus far. And that's a sign of good coaching.
Still, John, you got to remember the score of this game at halftime. This was a 6-point game at half. And they just jumped out and extended this lead a little bit further and kind of took control of the game, which is what both of us, I think, we wanted to see this team do. And that's exactly what they've done. That's the entire baseball team just filed out of here calling it a wrap.
calling this one over, but Coach Burt, don't tell Coach Burton that.
Not at all.
2 minutes and 28 seconds remaining.
He'll play every second like it's the last second.
Oh, yeah. As Union Gillespie is Eagles late to break the huddle. They're going to bring on the press. Union already anticipated, already lined up in the press break. White gets the ball, gives it off to Stevens. Stevens immediately double T, gets it off to White. White up ahead to Buter. Buter puts it on the deck. Now he's going to hold it. Burton says bring it on up. Now he says run the offense.
And as quick as I mentioned Archie Adams off air, where's he at?
Over there in the corner. In the game. Back out front to Stevens. 17 on the shot clock. Out front to Adams. Adams, looking for somebody to throw it to. Now finds Newby at the top of the key as Roach attacks. Now back out to Buter. Great way to kill the clock here for Union. 6 on the shot clock. Now you got to go. Buter spins in the lane. Spins on. Dishes off to Newby. Goes up foul. With 1 second on the shot clock. Reinhardt just foul. And that has to drive a coach mad, and that's why Gillespie over there on the sideline just puts his hands in his head.
Exactly, John.
Or head in his hands.
Whatever. Either way.
Either way. It works, yeah.
But smart by Stevens, knowing that they're going to guard him tight no matter where he is on the floor, and they're going to double him every time he touches the ball. What he did, John, he kind of ran himself out of bounds all the way to that other corner across from us and taking his defender out of the play.
Just play 4-on-4.
Exactly.
Newby to the line. He's going to try to sink both of these. Misses the one in a bonus. Goes 1 for 2. So Wood now. Expect Wood to start pulling any time. As Wood over to Roach. Roach working on White. Goes up for 2. No good. Barely draws iron as Newby is there for the rebound, but Cooper's going to get called for the push. Harrison made his way up to the scores table, but Burton called him back. 83-68 your score. 1:39 remaining in this one as now Harrison comes in. Sean Harrison checking in for Buter.
How anxious do you think Kobe Poor and Kurt over there, red shirts, both red shirts, how anxious do you think they are to join this team next year, John, after seeing what they've done to a somewhat heated rival, and this is a big game for this team. So how do you think they feel to join this team?
A lot of fun to watch as there's number 5, Thomas, goes up with a reverse layup with a quick jumper, as that's up ahead to Harrison. Harrison breaks the double team, gets it out of the corner and over to White. Now up top to Stevens. Stevens guarded by Wood. Wood is right in Stevens' grill. Now off to Harrison. Harrison hit hard by Roach. Roach and Harrison have some words for each other there. Harrison was not happy with the way Roach fouled him.
And even though there's been a little jawing back and forth on a very physical game, a lot of respect between these two teams.
Yeah.
A lot of respect.
I think the kids call it real, recognize real. Am I right about that?
Sure.
Harrison's first one is good. 84-70 is your score. Union led at 1 point by 20. Lead it by 14, working on 15 now. Second one on the way, good for Harrison. He extends the lead by 15. Give Harrison 4. Roach kicks out to Wood. Wood thinks about the 3, but drives the lane, finger roll up and good. Union's fine with exchanging 2 points right now for free throws. Just don't give up any threes. White looking for somebody to throw it into, but Coach Burton calls the timeout. So with a minute to play, Union on top, 85-72. We're going to take a break. You're listening to the Bulldog Sports Network.
EDU.
I'm the first college graduate in my family.
I am a fan of classic literature.
I am a fine arts major.
I am strong in my faith.
I am a fitness fanatic.
I am a champion.
I am working my way through college.
I am ambitious.
I am a Southern Belle.
I'm a single parent in college.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu.
I'm the first college graduate in my family.
I am a fan of classic literature.
I am a fine arts major.
I am strong in my faith.
I am a fitness fanatic.
I am a champion.
I am working my way through college.
I am ambitious.
I am a Southern Belle.
I'm a single parent in college.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, the Bulldog Sports Network, as Coach Burton just making sure his guys know how to close out a game. They've had to learn how to do a lot of this stuff, as they went because of the different personnel that they have in there. So, the only way that you can learn how to close out a game is get a lead and close out the game. So that's exactly what Bulldogs are doing here. Can't practice it in practice. It's got to be game time. So White's going to inbound it. He gets it into Stevens. Stevens puts it on the deck as Roach going to get called for the body. Coach Gillespie not happy about that one over there, but he's not happy about much of anything tonight. His team is getting beat 85-72 at the moment.
I do want to mention, too, John, Quentin Wood quietly, we mentioned at the start of the half, we didn't want him to get hot, but quietly he has 20 points.
And
for
that's
this Reinhardt
good that
team.
it's quietly as well.
Exactly.
Because he's just hit a couple of finger rolls. Fantastic players, Quentin Wood, but DeAntray Stevens just going to add to his total now, working on 30.
He hits this, it will be 30, which will be another point added to an oppressive outing for this kid.
People got to remember is, if you're not if you're just a casual fan, this Reinhardt team, folks, is 7-1 in the conferences. Wood takes a long three, banks it in.
Still open.
The bank is still open at 9:14 p.m. Eastern Time.
It's still open somewhere, right?
Buter throws it away to Wood. Wood goes up, almost completed the and one. 87-75. Reinhardt has chipped away at this lead. Did trail by 20.
And, John, something I want to mention, too, is something we all have to remember. DeAntray Stevens, this kid is only, like I said, a sophomore. He plays like he's so much older than that, which is a good thing. You got to love a kid that can play older than he is. And it's, as Coach Burton, you got to be excited for these next 2 years.
Not only that, but he's only played 3 games, and he
That's
has
true, too.
30 points. That's pretty impressive. That Buter throws it away again. Buter got to be stronger in the press, but White luckily gets the steal and out to Smith. Smith going to hold on to it as he brings it over the timeline in traffic now off to White. White over to Hairston, now back out front to Buter, and now back out front to Stevens. As let's see if Reinhardt's just content on playing this one out. No, they're going to try to foul, as they do. Wood going to commit the foul, going to be his 4th.
As Roach couldn't commit that foul because that would have given him 5 on the game and put him out of the game.
So Reinhardt trying to hold on to some sign of hope.
As now neither Wood, Roach, or Thomas cannot, well, they can, but they don't want to foul because that'll put them out of the game.
Tarek in a quiet gymnasium puts it up. No good. Cannot leave the door open for this Reinhardt team. We talked about it. They were, with the shooters they have on this team, I didn't care if Union was up 40. Maybe that would be a little bit different. But they were up 20. Now they've cut the lead in half, at least Reinhardt has for the time being. But Union finishes 88-77 at the moment. Tarek Smith with 17. Wood, crossover dribble, goes down the lane up for 2. But he missed the bunny. He misses the layup. At 15 seconds, Coach Gillespie just going to back it off. And there will be one sole leader of the AAC when the clock hits 0, and it will be the Union College Bulldogs as they clip the wings of the Reinhardt Eagles to take the driver's seat in the AAC to go 8-1 as Reinhardt falls to 7-2. Bulldogs win it here tonight.
And, John, real quick, before we go to a break here, that's got to be demoralizing. Quentin Wood missing that easy finger roll at the end of the game like that. That's got to, you were down 11. It's got to be demoralizing as a player to miss something that easy and know your team's going to lose no matter what. As the students are having a little bit of fun with the music playing in the background here.
I love it. As we're going to take a break, and we'll be back with final game stats. You're listening to the Bulldog Sports Network.
I'm at the top of my class.
I am pursuing a double major.
I am a student athlete.
I am pursuing a postgraduate degree.
I am a helping hand.
I am from England.
I am an aspiring artist.
I am a future doctor.
I'm a soldier.
I am inspired.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu. edu.
I'm the first college graduate in my family.
I am a fan of classic literature.
I am a fine arts major.
I am strong in my faith.
I am a fitness fanatic.
I am a champion.
I am working my way through college.
I am ambitious.
I am a Southern belle.
I'm a single parent in college.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together, we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu.
I'm the first college graduate in my family.
I am a fan of classic literature.
I am a fine arts major.
I am strong in my faith.
I am a fitness fanatic.
I am a champion.
I am working my way through college.
I am ambitious.
I am a Southern Belle.
I'm a single parent in college.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together, we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu.
I'm the first college graduate in my family.
I am a fan of classic literature.
Whether it's new or used parts you need, car parts, truck parts, SUV parts, foreign and domestic parts, any part from A to Z. Davis Salvage and Auto Parts on the Cumberland Falls Highway in Corbin has it or can find it. Davis Salvage specializes in late model auto and truck parts. For over 40 years, the Davis family has supplied customers all over the United States with new and used auto and truck parts. Davis Salvage open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 p.m. or online at davissalvage.com. Take a look at their inventory. Davis Salvage and Truck Parts on the Cumberland Falls Highway in Corbin, the only place to go for all your vehicle needs. Whether it's new or used parts you need, car parts, truck parts, SUV parts.
I'm at the top of my class.
I am pursuing a double major.
I am a student athlete.
I am pursuing a postgraduate degree.
I am a helping hand.
I am from England.
I am an aspiring artist.
I am a future doctor.
I'm a soldier.
I am inspired.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together, we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Bulldog Sports Network as the Bulldogs win it 88-77 here in Robeson Arena, and the Bulldogs are the lone owner of the number one in the AAC. And I believe you got first half stats. I'll let you take those away.
Final stats, John.
Thank you.
Final
I always
stats.
say
that. Anyway, we're going to start with Reinhardt like we always start with the visiting team. Their leading scorers, Quentin Wood with 25. Behind him, you had Matt Porter with 13. After that, they trail off to Josh Cooper with 10. Luke Joseph with 9. Thomas with 7. Tanner Reno with 5. With 3, you have Wayne Swint and Roach with 3. And with 2, you have William Reed. For Reinhardt, they had 14 turnovers, which isn't bad, but kind of hurt them sometimes with the certain times they had them. And they also had 33 rebounds, which isn't a bad rebounding total for the end of the game. From the field, they shot 47% to end the game and 33% from beyond the arc, which, like we said, they didn't take that many shots from beyond the arc, only 15 in the game, which is unlike this team from what I've heard, John. And they shot 57% from the free throw line, which isn't too bad. For the Bulldogs, obviously, their leading scorer was DeAntray Stevens with 30. Unbelievable performance from this kid. Tarek Smith with 17. Fitzgerald White with 11. After that, they had, with 8 points, you had Deontay Johnson and Michael Buter. With 5 was Tremaine Elias. With 4, Archie Adams and Tashawn Hairston. And with 1, rounding out the scoring, was Gerard Newby. The Union had 17 turnovers and still won the game. And 15 assists off 10 steals, John. Pretty good numbers right there. And 45 total rebounds. And one stat I want to point out, Archie Adams with 9 rebounds, 6 of those being offensive. Pretty impressive numbers from the kid. And from the field, the Bulldogs shot 46% from the field and 33% from beyond the arc and 76 from the line. Good free throw shooting from the Dogs tonight.
Absolutely. A lot of good things I saw as Coach Burton on his way up here to give his final game thoughts. Before he gets in, we'll let him gather his thoughts for just a second. On his walk up here, though, he doesn't get any time when he comes up here. But what a win for the Bulldogs here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Big statement game. Like we both said, this is going to be a game to tell, who's going to lead the AAC and who's, sole leader and top dog in this conference. And Union showed that they can step up and win a game when they need to. I mean, huge performance from DeAntray Stevens with 30 points.
Absolutely.
Archie Adams with 9 key rebounds, 6 offensive. I mean, 6 offensive rebounds. So those second-chance points really add up for a team. And it was a huge win for the Bulldogs tonight.
Absolutely. So you want to hand it over to Coach Burton there on the headset, and we'll get him out of the way as well, as the Bulldogs will win here, 88-77 over Reinhardt Union. They'll move on to 8-1 in the AAC and take sole possession and leadership of that conference. Coach Burton, what a win here tonight.
Yeah, John. Listen, you need to work on giving me some time to sit down and get my breath. All right.
You can tell me when you want to go on. You can tap me on the shoulder.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how it looked up here. I knew it wasn't going to be an easy game to play, and I don't think it was an easy game to play. But I thought we played well,
Yeah.
And our composure in half-court offense in the first half was probably the worst thing that happened to us.
Yeah.
Even though we were ahead at halftime, I was thrilled to be ahead at halftime. I just didn't like we weren't very rhythmic. If we called a play out and maybe something happened where we couldn't get a shot off, we were going one-on-one and shooting kind of low percentage shots. Not selfish, just because they were we were trying to play the correct way, but I just didn't like our composure. So I was really tickled to be up at halftime. Not to mention, Deontay Johnson getting basically getting taken, didn't get to play almost, and I thought they were fouls. I thought for sure 2 of them were fouls. I can't remember the third one, but with him basically not being any kind of factor, and Gerard Newby and Tremaine Elias picking up 3 fouls as well in the first half, and all that, I thought that it was good. And number 2.
Quentin Wood.
Oh my goodness, golly, that guy. I mean,
fantastic player.
That guy is so hard to guard.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got to be. If he's not the hardest, the kid from Montreat, the left-handed scorer. Who I'm sorry, his name escaped me. It shouldn't, because he's scored 30 on us every time. But him and this guy's kind of an explosive hard to guard.
Yeah.
Whereas the Montreat kid kind of lulls you to sleep on how he makes his plays. But, man, he's hard to guard. But besides him, there were a few people on their team that we really keyed on, that we wanted to make sure did not get loose. And you saw, I don't know how you could see it up here, but we were really committed to really getting out on the three-point line and not letting them get free shots off. And it was effective. And I did not intend to play that much zone, but I could tell it was pretty effective. Even though they shot a high percentage, or a pretty good percentage from the floor, we were sustaining the lead enough that I thought the only way they could maybe come back and get ahead of us is if we went to man-to-man and the game got a little fast for us. So that's why I stayed in the matchup zone, and I thought it was pretty effective. So basically our perimeter defense versus all the other players except for 2, I thought was a huge key on us winning this game. And the other key was rebounding the basketball. We out-rebounded by 12. And I thought that was a huge key. They are the second leading team in the nation, rebounding and in offensive rebounding. And we won the rebounding margin by 12, which is just an astounding stat for that game. And I was very proud and pleased with our players on their eagerness and desire to go to the glass, especially early in the game. I saw a bunch of white jerseys running there and trying to get rebounds so they could get a second shot, which was just a big key for the game. And our senior Archie Adams coming in and just being a stable force for us on the interior was a big key. So, and by the way, we had a guy that scored 30 tonight, which was kind of important.
It's kind of a big deal.
Kind of a big deal, I guess you could say. DeAntray Stevens in what was this, his third or fourth game?
Yeah, I think it's fourth.
Third or fourth college game. Just his shot making. With all those other things I've mentioned, his shot making, obviously, I mean, that was kind of the obvious thing. That was as the key. So he obviously played just a really good game, and our players did a good job of looking for him on certain things that we were trying to get him open on.
And I know a couple of things. You probably don't remember the plays that I'm going to talk about. Well, when you see them on film, you'll know, because I watched your guys' shoot around, and I saw you guys working on closing out on those shooters, and there was one time where I saw DeAntray Stevens do it exactly how you told him to do it and shoot around on Tanner Reno, number 10, over there in the corner, right in front of you guys' bench. And I thought to myself, that has got to make Coach Burton happy, that how well these guys are closing out on these shooters and chasing them off the line, because everything from up here, everything looked hard for Reinhardt tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing looked easy for them. It was chaotic for them, which I'm not used to seeing out of that Reinhardt team, because I've watched them for the last couple of years, and they like to come down, they like to jack up the three, not afraid to jack it up, and everything looked hard for them tonight. So I think hats off to that defense tonight.
I agree. I thought that was a big key. I knew number 2, and I'm sorry, I don't. I always
Wood.
I always go by numbers, but I knew he was going to be just really, really hard to guard. But I thought those other guys were so key that we could not let another player on their team go for more than what they're averaging. And I would say, I haven't really studied it yet, but I would say that most of them finished under what they're averaging, as far as the perimeter players were concerned. And I thought that was just a big key. And the players, they fear me, John, and so they knew that if they didn't close out, that I'm the only person that's got a key to our locker room. I might lock the door in there with them one-on-one. No, I'm just kidding. But they did a good job of. I think they felt my urgency, I guess you could call it, on how just hugely it is to guard the perimeter and go rebound it, and we did it. And I was just so pleased with how we're gathering information. And you got to think about, against Bryan, we had to guard kind of a different way.
Yeah.
How we defended them, and then we come tonight and we kind of had to defend it another different way, based on who we were playing against, and our players in just a matter of one day, because of course we played Monday. In a matter of one day, made that adjustment really well.
Yeah.
So they're starting, their intellect and their receiving information is at a good spot right now. Now it's let's just make this a habit, and then we'll make sure we have chances to win. So I was real happy with that.
I noticed a couple times you were trying to make a few coaching points as the teams were, they had the 20-point lead. They kind of gave that up a couple times. I know that's enough to drive a coach crazy. I saw you call a couple timeouts over there to try to make sure everybody was had their ducks in a row.
The timeout at the 8-minute mark. The only reason I called the timeout is I subbed a package of people in for a certain offensive possession.
Absolutely.
I don't know how to explain it, but we kind of.
How I say it up here is you coach by, what did I say earlier, Mason? You coach by possession, and not really a game. You coach by possession.
Absolutely. When it's baseline out of bounds defense, we do a certain thing, and offense inside out, all these different things. It's kind of like football. We put a certain package in, and in that specific situation, we had a couple guys in with 4 fouls on offense that were skilled offensive players, and we came down and we executed and got a score. So I wanted to call a timeout to get subs in. And now, if I was really on top of my game, what I would have done is I would have had the subs at the table, and I'd have called a timeout and rolled them in where I didn't have to have the break.
Yeah.
Unless their coach wanted it. But I only had a full timeout left, or full timeouts left, which I thought that timeout ended up hurting us because we got in a lull and they got going a little bit. In hindsight, I would have probably rolled the dice, and if we had a guy foul out with 5 fouls with 8 minutes to go, up 20, I probably wouldn't let that bother me. But that's kind of what I was doing, is getting the people in foul trouble out of the game. Guys in a decent shape foul-wise in the game for a defensive possession and go from there. But and it was effective. It just it slowed the game up a little bit, and I wish I would have done it a little bit differently. But and you're right, though. The other timeouts besides that one late were philosophical discussions on, okay, what are we doing here? Yeah. Why are we doing this on offense when the only way they can come back and win is if there's multiple possessions. If we only have 12 or 15 possessions to go in this game from 5 minutes on, they would have to shoot 100% just to tie it up. We'd have to shoot 0%.
Yeah.
So the chances. So let's play the percentages. I don't care how open you are.
Yeah.
Okay. The clock's our friend, so let's use it.
So, finally, before I get you out of here, students really brought it today for you. I thought a great home court advantage here for your big game against Reinhardt. So,
yes, I was
very feel good to have this good atmosphere in here.
It was, and especially when, we really haven't had time to promote the game because everybody just got back.
Yeah.
And, and I don't know if you noticed my attire tonight, but.
All black?
All black. I heard it was a blackout, so I went all black.
We mentioned it.
Black on black, and hopefully it was slimming on me. I don't know if it was or not, but.
We'll check the tape later.
Yeah, absolutely. But, this was a big one. I mean, I don't know when the last time Union men's basketball was ahead of the conference halfway through by themselves. Of course, it's nothing to stop and be celebratory yet about, but it is something to acknowledge that we've done a pretty good job at this point. We need to continue it, so I'm very pleased, and I hope all the Union fans and the longtime fans are starting to take notice that we're trying to represent the school the best way we can. And my assistant coach Tanner Massey came up with a phrase back in the fall that our guys are grabbing hold of, and he says rep the U, and so we're trying to rep the U the best way we know how, and we got a ways to go, but all in all, I'm pleased.
Awesome.
Thanks,
you very
John.
much, Coach
Appreciate it.
No problem. It's going to have Mason put his headset back on there. As great post-game comments there for Coach Burton here on the Bulldog Sports Network. 88-77, Union goes on top. They go on to 15-3 overall, 8-1 in the AAC. Reinhardt falls to 10-8 overall and 7-2 in the AAC. Mason, quickly here, final game thoughts on this game. I think it was kind of what we expected, but I don't know if the score was what we expected. But I said before the game, I could see Union winning this one by 15-10. I could see them losing this game by 2 or 3. And you saw the talent that Reinhardt has to put on the floor. This is an impressive victory for the Bulldogs.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's impressive not only in a sense of Reinhardt is a good team, and Union made the most of it, but it's a good victory in a sense of Union is finally back on top of the conference. And like Coach just said, when's the last time Union has had a team solely alone a lead in the conference? I mean, it's
impressive, yeah.
Huge win for the guys. I mean, as on the team, you have to feel good about yourself, knowing that we've brought Union back to what we know it can be. And like you said, rep the U. You know what I mean? It's the kids don't do this. I mean, they do this for themselves because they love this game. They do it for their coach because they love their coach and they have respect for what he says. Because like he said, they fear him. It's not fear out of, they're actually afraid of him.
Yeah.
It's fear out of respect.
Yeah.
And I mean, they do this for the Union. They do this for the team. And it's good to see. I mean, the kids get along well. They love their coach. You can tell. They love each other. Yeah, they might have their times where, they get in tiffs, but they do it as a team. And then they showed today that they can win and win big and win impressive and beat a solid team in their conference where it means everything and anything to their conference tournament and their national championship, nationals hopes.
Yeah.
And they proved themselves that. I think they really proved themselves, especially coming out at half with a 6-point lead and coming out and blowing this game wide open, which is what they did. I mean, yeah, they let their lead from 20 cut down to 10, but 11 to end the game, but it's
all
still,
that matters is
still,
what's
an,
up there on the scoreboard
still
last.
an impressive win. Still an impressive win. Joe.
Absolutely. Mason, thank you very much, man. You did a fantastic job again, as always. We'll have you join us later on in the year, too. It'll be 2 weeks from now before we're back on, I believe, here at home at least.
Yeah.
But stay tuned to UCBulldogs.com, also on our stretch site. It's all on there. As everybody has cleared out of here, we're going to get out of here, too. As a big shout-out to all my cast and crew, Ellie Weaver, my producer, Jessica Frisbee, who has worked hard on camera for me, John Gatto, the assistant SID, and finally my color commentator, Mason Nealon, doing a fantastic job. I have been the voice of the Bulldogs as the Bulldogs win it here, 88-77, and I'll catch you down the line.
The Union College Athletic Department would like to thank all of our corporate sponsors who made today's broadcast possible on the Bulldog Sports Network. You can listen to today's broadcast at any time on demand and find scores, schedules, rosters, and recaps only at UCBulldogs.com. The Union College Athletic Department